Diarrhea. Pepto-Bismol is available in liquid and convenient options like chews, liquid caps, or tablets. Keep it handy, use as directed, and please keep out of reach of children.
Summer of 93, 76 days over 100. Summer of 23, the hottest on record.
We can't change the weather, but we can change your comfort.
Alaskan AC introduces the Grizzly.
The only air conditioner built for Arizona summers.
It'll claw down hot temps.
The Grizzly.
This is getting intense.
It eats Arizona summers for breakfast.
Then it spits them out at lunch.
Wait a second.
The Grizzly claws the competition.
Tears them apart.
Do another one.
Pounces on heat like it's a salmon spawning and rips it apart.
Like a salmon
Then
spawning?
it takes a pirate sword and stabs high temperatures.
Hold it.
Aw, it was just getting good.
Folks, we designed a new air conditioner made to handle the heat and dust of Arizona summers. We call it the Grizzly.
Yeah.
Take it easy. It's tough as a grizzly, but gentle on your budget.
That pirate sword.
Before summer gets blazing, learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 200 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code 200. LUMEdeodorant.com, code 200 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. Love it or return it for free. That's LUMEdeodorant.com, code 200.
At Progressive, we're making things even easier. We'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you could save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown and Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Backs out the dribble, leave it for Boswell. Boswell lost Rodman, then missed the shot, no good. Tip, grabbed by Keyshot, laid up, that's off the rim. Tipped by Ballo, missed that, no good. Rebound again underneath Keyshot, throw it up, that's no good. Rebound Ballo, Arizona, knocked away by James out of bounds, and it'll be Arizona ball.
Great hustle by the Cats, 3-4 opportunities, just unable to put it away.
Yeah, great hustle there, just got to make those baskets. Shots around the basket. When it comes to this time of year, when it comes to March, when it comes to winning big ball games, like Arizona is going to try to attempt to do over the next 4 weeks if they want to try to get back to their first Final Four since the year 2001. Welcome to the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show, coming to you live from the T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas. It is early. I think I'm one of the few people actually in the building right now. But in about 4 hours, this place should be electric, as it will become what is fondly known as McHale North. As Arizona Wildcat fans, there were many of them in the building yesterday when the Wildcats weren't even playing. They will come in, take over this facility, and hopefully turn it into the home court advantage that will lead the Arizona Wildcats, or help to lead the Arizona Wildcats, to yet another Pac-12 tournament championship. I am at the T-Mobile Arena. I've got my guys. We've got Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden back in studio in Tucson. We are with you for the next 3 hours, 8 to 11, as we get you set for this noon tip-off today in the Pac-12 quarterfinals between the number 6 Arizona Wildcats and the Southern California Trojans. Let's give you an indication on what we've got in store for you over the course of the next 3 hours.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
All right, we'll review the loss to USC, which took place on Saturday at the Galen Center. We'll get you in a preview of today's game against USC, which will be here in Las Vegas. It's not too often that you get a chance in college basketball to play a team back-to-back, but that's what we have here today for the Arizona Wildcats. We're also going to hear this morning from U of A golf coach Jim Anderson. The fellas have their second home tournament coming up on Monday and Tuesday at what is going to be their future home course, the Tucson Country Club. So we'll check in with Jimbo and find out what's going on with the fellas since the last time we saw them out at the Omni National and they were competing in the NIT. This will be the Arizona Intercollegiate coming up next week over at the Tucson Country Club Monday and Tuesday, so a chance to get out and see some outstanding college golf. Also, our spotlight will be on the Pac-12 Player of the Year. Caleb Love, we'll hear from him on what it meant for him to have a chance to win this award. Brian Jeffries will join us. He'll give you your view from courtside. Had a chance to catch up with Brian on our show yesterday. And, of course, we've got your pest of the game as well. Who will be that Trojan who gets underneath the skin of the Wildcats? We'll have to kind of really go back and see who that person was on Saturday that got underneath the skin of Arizona in helping the Trojans win that contest in Los Angeles by 13 points over Arizona. Hoping for a different outcome here this afternoon in Las Vegas, the first of what will likely be 3 straight days of basketball for the Arizona Wildcats. They did not play in a multi-team event this year, so Arizona has not, this season anyway, had a chance to live this life where they've got to go out and win games 3 days in a row. Joined by my guys again, Kelvin Ifan, J.W. Madden. Kelvin, I'll start with you. I just mentioned the fact that there was no MTE multi-team event this year for Arizona, so they've got to go out and play 3 straight days. But even though they have not done it this year, most of the guys on this team have done it before, so you'll pull off those experience on what it's like to have to go out and play 3 days in a row and try to win basketball games.
Yeah, we always talk about AAU basketball and everything. These guys are used from 10 and under playing multiple games a day, games in a row. I know this is college, so things are a little different, more business-like, but actually a game each day isn't a big deal. And my first reason why is because the other team has to do the same thing. I mean, your competitor has to play every day too, so there's no advantage for nobody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And interesting, like we again mentioned before, J-Dub, you've got a team that you just played on Saturday. You're turning around and you're playing them again, 5 days later. It's not often we see this in college basketball, but this is the instance. And so the Wildcats saw a much different USC team than what they had seen in Tucson back, I believe it was in the month of January. This is a USC team now that is kind of built and is starting to round in to what we thought the Trojans were going to be this season with the talent that they had coming in on this roster for Andy Enfield.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if you're Purdue or Connecticut or any of these teams. You take Isaiah Collier and Boogie Ellis off of that level of talent off of any team in the nation, and that team's going to struggle. Joshua Morgan obviously was injured. I think we saw closer to what we expected from the Trojans this past Saturday, and as Kelvin always says, challenge for a team that's on a 9 out of 10. Arizona was beating teams by 15 points coming into that game versus the Trojans. So I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as a good thing. I think it's a wake-up call for those guys. Obviously, they didn't have much to play for. It already locked up the title on Thursday. So that human nature thing that Coach was talking about. But as far as this rematch, if you want to call it that, in such a short turnaround time frame, I love it because guess what? I mean, Pelle Larsson had one of his worst games. Caleb Love had one of his worst games. I mean, the guys you expect to be those steady leaders on the team that come and bring it every single night did not necessarily have their best showings Pell only played 23 minutes in that game. So I expect those guys, especially the senior leaders, to come into this game taking it much more seriously. Not that they were overlooking the Trojans. They kind of pulled away towards the end. That score is not really indicative of how close that game was. But I expect, DK, the Cats to come out and show a much different effort and a much different team tonight versus that Trojan defense.
Well, you mentioned obviously it was a USC team, or I'm sorry, an Arizona team that had wrapped up the title the previous Thursday night at Poly Pavilion, beating their rival UCLA Bruins. Tommy Lloyd was asked if he felt his team came out flat in that game.
You know, to win a Pac-12 regular season championship is nothing should be taken lightly. Obviously, we wanted to play better today, and we didn't. But, you know, maybe we were given a gift by SC, and we can really learn from this. So that's going to be our focus.
What would you say? I mean, what jumps out at you that way as far as things you learned?
This may be coming, you know, with a little better sense of urgency or responding to how the game's being officiated. I'm not saying it's officiated poorly. I'm saying maybe our approach wasn't right, you know. And so just get better at that kind of stuff because, you know, these games, they get really emotional, you know, and as they're playing out, and you have to be able to control your emotions and draw up on your season's experiences. So, you know, maybe just being a little bit better there.
Real quick, DK, it's funny he mentions that, you know, the way the game's being officiated, Kelvin, because the thing I cut out of that opening highlight, I wanted to play an opening highlight where they got the 4 offensive rebounds and didn't finish any of them. The thing I cut out of there is the commentary of, I think it was Reggie saying how physical it was and how the refs were letting them play, Kelvin. So that series of those 4 offensive rebounds, a lot of physicality, a lot of contact on that play, no whistle. So I think what coach is really saying there is, you know, you got to understand at that level that it's a physical game. Refs are letting it go. Play through the contact. Yes. Don't be looking towards the whistle, all that stuff.
Umar Ballo obviously also talked after that game at USC. He admitted that it was not a very good performance by Arizona.
I mean, you know, USC is a great program, obviously, and they were better than us tonight. They came out, they played really well, and, you know, we all have one of those days, you know, and the good thing about this, we're going to learn from this. You know, we know that if we don't get our stuff together, it's going to be a long night. So it was a great teaching lesson. Nothing but respect for USC and the program.
You think that you guys were in there talking for a while? I mean, was it kind of an upbeat message like that?
No, positive. Nothing coming from this than just learning and then keep our head up, because we know we're playing for a lot than just this one game, and all we need is a positive mindset.
It was a night in which Arizona shot just 39% from the floor, 24 of 62. They shot just 20% from three-point land, making only 3 of 15 in that game. Indeed, a poor shooting night.
I mean, we just didn't have great rhythm on offense all day, so we're going to give USC credit on defense. And you know, we got good shooters who are capable of making shots, but, you know, today was USC's day.
Were you expecting USC to kind of have that just offensive outburst just from start to finish, be able to...
I mean, I don't know if it was an outburst, to be honest with you. I just think we were really bad on offense. And we turned the ball over a lot, and that probably helped them out with their offense a little bit. But, I mean, you know, they made a few shots here and there. But I mean, I did not feel like that was a high-octane game by either team. But I'm taking nothing away from SC. They were a lot better than we were today.
Speaking of turnovers, what are some issues you saw that resulted in that?
I mean, you got to connect passes. It's really simple. I mean, pass to the same color jersey. I mean, we got to do that. We got to be better at that. We just weren't today. So maybe I don't know why. We've been pretty good at taking care of the ball all year, and today we weren't. So you know, we'll take a look at it and we'll figure it out. And if there's things we need to address, we'll address them.
Well, sometimes in that case, you feel like some of them were lazy passes, like you said, maybe not a sense of urgency, or was there, again, disruption from USC?
I mean, I'm going to give USC credit for disruption, but you know what? You got to be able to handle disruption. So it's nothing we haven't faced all year. So you know, they did a good job disrupting our rhythm, and our guys didn't do a great job of playing through it.
Yeah, it was a complete flip of what we normally see from the Arizona Wildcats, guys. I mean, 17 turnovers. This was a team that for the most part of late had been only turning the ball over maybe about 8, 9, 10 times a game. So way more turnovers, way less assists, only 12 assists in that ball game for the Arizona Wildcats, for a team that we're normally used to seeing when they're going smoothly, when the offense is well-oiled. You know, they're getting 20, 22, 24 assists in a ball game.
Yeah, easily. You're used to them sharing the ball and as Coach said, making sure the ball get to the guys in the same color. But I think we're not giving enough credit to USC. Those guys were motivated. I mean, you think about those guys, DJ Rodman, a defender on the inside. You got the three guys on the outside, the guards with Kobe Johnson, Isaiah Collier, and Boogie Ellis on that. Those are great defenders. They could defend us one-on-one. And I thought that is what helped create some of those turnovers. We didn't have the open guys that are the guys that are usually open. They wasn't just open like that. So USC had the opportunity to put hands on the ball, get deflection. So it just was just a tough day by a very hungry team, Southern California.
And there's, Kobe Johnson was clearly playing the passing lanes. He wasn't playing to help off on drivers. He was playing to help off on drivers and then hedge towards the pass as soon as it looked like the offensive player had an opening to get that pass out to the open shooter. And he had 6 steals. So, I mean, that zone, that kind of man, they ran a lot of man and zone in that game, just like they did yesterday versus the Huskies. But the zone collapsing down, Kelvin, clearly a team that's averaging, to DK's point, 19, 20 assists a game. The game plan coming in from Enfield and those guys was to not let those dump-off passes from drivers happen. So you just got to be smarter with the ball. Fake that pass, maybe backdoor because obviously the defense is being a little over-aggressive, trying to get in those passing lanes. There's ways to get around that, and they got a lot of good film, Kelvin, from that game to know how to attack that defense much better today.
And one thing, the other problem that USC brings is that they can switch basically every position because of the athleticism and the size of their guys.
That's the issue. Like, they've got a lot of great athletes on the wings. They've got the guard play is on point. However, as we saw in that game, we'll talk a lot about that in the pregame show today. Ballo was killing them and fouling out their whole front line. And it was really those connecting passes. Pass to the guy in the same colored jersey. I mean, that's like something you would hear in 7th grade or something, Kelvin, right? And it's just that. I mean, it's as simple as that because Ballo was killing them. They don't have anybody behind that to switch off to put a body on him. So that's the only mismatch really on the court.
And I'll add to that, understanding of understanding that they were switching on the perimeter and that you should have went and looked for Ballo a little bit more. And like you say, we'll talk about that a little bit more later, but I thought that was the biggest issue. You didn't take advantage of the advantages that you had on the court, which led to the turnovers.
And it was a tough ball game for one Caleb Love in terms of the not so great shooting for the Arizona Wildcats. Caleb making just one basket for the Arizona Wildcats in that loss, finishing. Caleb in that ball game finishing 1 for 8 and a 1 for 5 from 3-point land. Umar Ballo just on the shots not going down.
Our shot didn't fall tonight. It's a basketball, and I'm sure the next opportunity we're gonna get to play someone, the shot gonna fall.
Well, how was your thoughts on Caleb tonight? I mean, he's been so good for you guys and taking what's good, and then he just had
Caleb is our best player, and even the greatest of night sometimes, and for us, he knows we love him, coaching staff love him, and we need him to shoot the ball for us to win the game. And I'm nothing but happy this happened, and Caleb gonna learn from this. We're all gonna learn from this, and he knows the most important thing. The team is behind him. We support him, and we want him to take 20 shots the next game we play. We believe in him. He got us here. He got us here through the whole season. So nothing but love for Caleb.
Do you guys kind of prop him up? Was he bummed out after a game like this, or how does he take it?
Bruce, Caleb is a positive guy, and he doesn't think about only himself. He put team first, and after the game, I see his face is like normal guy. He knows at the end of the day, he just wants us to win. And if we don't win, he's not the one to carry the blame. It's always on all of us, and he approaches it that way.
Kelvin, real quick, if you get to be that level of a killer scorer, how many times have you failed in your life already to that point?
Oh, man, many.
So
many.
You don't got to. I mean, nobody's got to be picking.
We've heard of his story. I don't know if that was failure. I mean, what his accomplishments coming from North Carolina, but we've heard all the the stuff about him.
Yeah.
And for him to come and have a season like this and prove so many people wrong about him, they still talking about his shot selection, which I always say I think it's a product of the offense, North Carolina offense and Arizona's offense. They didn't necessarily run plays or sets to get you your shots in rhythm. You just got to find them. And so sometimes when you're just, finding your shots or letting the ball find the right guy, you're not necessarily in rhythm, and you take the shots because you're used to taking them, because that's who you are. But it's not that same rhythm shot that you see. And you're seeing, if you watch college basketball, you're seeing some players where you see the guard go set a screen, then he get another screen, then he get a catch and shoot for a wide open shot. How many of those shots do you actually see our guys getting? Their offense is more off of just the movement of the ball.
Yeah, flow.
Yeah, Ken, real quick, Tommy Lloyd also talking about Caleb Love's struggles in that game.
Caleb's had an MVP type year, and he just didn't play great today. So, it'll be a great thing for him and I to sit down and discuss. I love him. I really appreciate him, and I really respect him as a player and as a person. So, these are the experiences coaches and players need together.
He's been pretty patient, and the other night waited, and after a couple of shots, took what was coming to him. But maybe, I didn't know tonight, you feel like he was maybe taking some shots he shouldn't?
I don't think a lot of our shot selection overall was great all night. So again, you probably got to give USC some credit on defense.
What do you tell a player like that after a performance like tonight to make sure he kind of shakes it off, especially before heading into next week?
You're a great player. Let's get better. Let's look at what happened and be honest with each other and move forward.
There you go. Move forward. The moving forward begins today here in Las Vegas in the first game of the Pac-12 tournament for Arizona. Let's get our first break-in of the afternoon, or the morning, I should say. Breakfast with the Wildcats. Arizona getting set to take on the Southern California Trojans here in the quarterfinals of the Pac-12 tournament. Much more straight ahead. We'll dive into USC's win over Washington here in the first round on Wednesday, and a whole lot more. We're going to talk as well with Jim Anderson in this hour, the golf coach at the University of Arizona. They've got a big tournament coming up next week at Tucson Country Club. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show, along with Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog Inn Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot.
My heat and air work in a state of disrepair.
Spring is here and so are the allergies. I'm Janae Arenas, and if you're a mom like me, you're concerned about how clean the air is that your family is breathing. That's why we offer duct cleaning, aerosealed duct sealing, and air purification. Call us at Picture Rocks Cooling at 520-440-4069. Your family deserves to breathe clean, healthy air.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay, nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & Kay is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in-ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet? Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona, with offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona. The Eagle gives you home court advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne makes the right play in any situation. So, after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm get you the settlement you deserve. It's a slam dunk. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE Eagles.
Hi, this is Mike Hanley, former president of Bank of Tucson, and I'm thrilled to announce that I have joined the Advisory Business Council of Meridian Wealth Management and Natalie Fernandez-Lee, Meridian's partner and advisor, who I am a great fan of. She has worked with many individuals and businesses in the community for decades. We live in crazy times these days and need the right financial advice, which is so important. If you'd like to talk to Natalie, give her a call at 719-1433 and have a great day.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Right now overcoming 11 threes by Washington. Boogie Ellis from deep and a 3 for Boogie Ellis.
Boogie Ellis had his shot going yesterday, that is for sure. He did not shoot the ball well last Saturday against Arizona. Scoring just 5 points and making just one shot. He and Caleb Love, neither one of the top real scorers for Arizona or USC in that game Saturday, shot the ball all that well. But Boogie found his game yesterday against the Washington Huskies in the first round of the Pac-12 tournament, scoring 25 points as the Trojans won the game by a score of 80-74. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. We're coming to you live here from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Our Pac-12 road trip is brought to you also by Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Your family deserves to breathe clean and healthy air. We appreciate Ron Arenas and Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for being the official sponsor of our Pac-12 road trip. We will hear from Ron a little bit later when he arrives here at the arena. We'll chat with him and get his thoughts on getting up here to Las Vegas, his trip so far. He and his family were at all the games yesterday, and get his thoughts on what he thinks the Wildcats have to do to get this win against USC.
It's a great story, by the way, Kelvin. He grew up here in Tucson, didn't have the means to get to McHale, made some out of himself, worked hard to get enough money to start his own business, and now he's taking his kids to McHale to watch games.
Oh, yeah. No, I know exactly who he is, man. He does a great job. He also sponsors a team in the Tucson Summer Pro League. So know exactly who he is, know him, know his wife, great people.
Yeah, absolutely. And you heard those highlights at the top. Boogie Ellis' 3 against the Huskies yesterday. It was really, though, one of the Huskies, Moses Wood, who was raining threes early in that game against the USC Trojans. Wood could not be stopped in the first half. He had 5 3-point shots, including a buzzer beater at the end of the first half. Andy Enfield had to quickly make an adjustment to slow down the Washington sharpshooter.
Well, we started out the game in man, and they were making threes, getting transition, and then we just slowed them down with our zone. Our zone was great in the first half. We probably got 9 out of 10 stops, and Then we took a 4-point lead, and they went on a flurry because we turned the ball over on an out-of-bounds play, and they hit a 3 in transition, and another 3. Wood hit 3 straight on us, and then I think Brooks or somebody hit the 4th, and then Wood hit the one desperation one at the end of the. So we went man most of the second half. We mixed our zone in very briefly, but we just had to guard them. It was frustrating because they're really talented offensively. Wheeler is so quick. He's probably the quickest guy in the country with the ball in his hands. It's really hard to guard. And then you have Keon Brooks, who leads the league in scoring. And those guys. And then Wood puts a lot of pressure on you from the three-point line. And Corin Johnson's been playing great. He had 26, 21 last couple games. So their one-on-one play is very, very hard to guard. And so that's why we try to mix up our man and zone. In the second half, we just had to guard a man. And if we wanted to win the game, we had to do a better job, which we did.
Well, and this is the really interesting thing, guys, is the fact that they were able to take Keon Brooks, who is one of the best scorers in the Pac-12 conference, right there with Caleb Love. They were able to take him, for the most part, completely out of this game yesterday. Keon Brooks struggled. He was 4 for 16 from the field, just 1 of 8 from 3. He did score 13 points in the game. But obviously 13 points on 16 shots was not what he was looking for. And afterward, Andy kind of talked about the defense that they used to shut down Keon Brooks.
Well, we tried to give extra help with him, challenge everything at the rim. And he made that 1-3 in the first half where Kobe was kind of there, but he didn't really challenge it. That was his 1-3 he made. But I thought with a guy like that, you just have to try to challenge every shot he takes. He's really, really talented. And give Kobe and Boogie and Kobe both had 3 steals tonight. We got a lot of deflections, and I thought DJ Rodman did a really good job one-on-one with them.
Guys, does that sound familiar? I mean, that's 2 games in a row now. I mean, they have taken the 2 best scorers in the Pac-12 conference completely off their games. When you look at what they did to Caleb Love last Saturday night and what they did to Keon Brooks yesterday.
I mean, he said it. He said Boogie Ellis, Kobe Johnson. He has the guys. DJ Rodman, he has the guys. He has the talent to be able to play guys one-on-one and man-to-man. Exactly what he said they had to do in the second half versus Wood. Wood did not make a shot in the second half. So they have the guys. They have the talent to be able to man up and make it difficult for you to be able to score.
He didn't take shots, right? I mean, he finished 6 for 9 in the game, finished 5 for 7 from 3. They just locked him down. And, you know, Enfield came in with the whole, what was their thing out there in Florida? Dunk.
Yeah.
Dunk City.
Dunk City.
Yeah.
And he came in with that rep of like high flying, running up and down the court. Lob City, yeah. That was the Clippers. I don't know. They had some kind of dunk thing out there in Florida. But point being, these last 4 years, guys, Enfield's Trojans teams have developed more of a defensive reputation, right? I mean, that's what they do. So it's just a matter of their team just not being able. And with, you talk about the guard play, obviously, but Morgan, he leads the conference in blocks, right? So, I mean, that's a guy behind the scenes. He's going to be able to clean up a lot of stuff. But their guards, I think, especially at the point of attack, Collier, really strong for a young guy. James, really strong. And Boogie Ellis has got that experience. So, and DJ, what's he, a 5th-year senior? So a lot of experience, a lot of grown mans.
And I think, and J-Dub, I also think what's tough about playing USC right now is you haven't saw this group.
Yeah.
You haven't saw them as a group defensively all together to really feel what it feels like. I think Arizona had a chance to feel that the other day, that they took the loss. And I think if you look at the record, I think they're 5 out of their last 6. So the other teams, had a little difficulty with the guys being back as well. So I think today's game with Arizona will be more indicative of what it's really like for these 2 teams.
Do I feel old real quick? Yeah, Dunk City, 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
10 years ago is Dunk City, Florida Gulf Coast.
That was a great run they had in that NCAA tournament that propelled Andy Enfield to getting the job at USC. And in terms of Caleb Love and the performance he had, we mentioned 0 for 6 from 3, 1 for 10 from the field overall in that game Saturday. He spoke this week about how he and the Wildcats tried to put that loss to USC behind them.
Obviously, that wasn't us in that game. And, we definitely, addressed the, kind of issues that we had during that game. And like you said, we just got to, move past it, learn from it, and move past it. And now, we definitely got a chance to, do something special in this next week.
You said it wasn't you guys as a team. Did you feel individually, obviously uncharacteristic shooting night for you at SC? What was going on there, and what did you kind of watch film on purpose, or how'd you handle it?
No, I definitely watch film. I watch film after every game, and their game plan was obviously to take me out of rhythm, and they kind of did a lot of things to take me out of that, and so I just got to learn better. I got to probably move a little bit more off the ball and probably get easy ones to get myself going. But it's definitely a learning experience for me to have that. It's probably one of my worst games of my career, but. Like you said, I just learned from it, and that won't happen again.
Well, and this, again, this is USC now with 4 straight wins coming in here, and I've said it all week long. This is the team that I really didn't want to have to see if you're the Arizona Wildcats in this tournament, because Andy Enfield, I think, finally has the team that we thought he was going to have. The team that it was billed that USC was going to have at the outset of this season.
We've made a lot of improvements this year. Our team has improved defensively and offensively, and we felt great early January when we had Boogie hurt his hamstring, Isaiah broke his hand, and Josh got sick and lost 15 pounds. We lost 3 guys at the same time, and then when you play without your 2 leading scorers, who happen to be your 2 playmakers, it became very challenging. We didn't even score 70 points for 6 straight games and lost 6 in a row. So when we got back healthy, they've been impressive because they have improved quickly. And we are playing well. We just thought we'd play a little better in January and early February, but we didn't anticipate those injuries. So now this is a team we thought we'd have, and we're playing well. I think we won 5 out of 6. We lost 2 close games in the last in the game at Washington State, where we led for 36, 37 minutes. So our team is playing better, much better, and we've seen a lot of growth. Isaiah Collier at the point guard position has shown tremendous growth. Bronny James, our young players, Vince, who missed 2 off seasons, he's really improved, and then the upperclassmen like Kobe and Boogie have really stepped up, and DJ Rodman, and so I think we're in a good place as a team. Really proud of our guys. This is a much better basketball team than we started the season, and also throughout the year, and they've improved dramatically on both sides of the ball.
Back of the room.
David Kelly from Wildcats Radio 1290 for Coach and the players. Just what did you guys like about the way you defended Arizona last Saturday that you think can carry over to the game on Thursday?
I think our physicality. I think we came out into that game very physical with them, and we matched their pressure. So I think we got to come out and just apply the pressure and the physicality to them right away, because I felt like last game we did a perfect job of shutting down their best players with physicality. So as long as we do that, I think we'll be in a good spot again.
We had great energy. It was our home court. It was senior day, and I thought our players played with tremendous energy the whole game. And we were flying around on our zone and our man defense, and we rebounded the ball. And Arizona's extremely hard to guard. Anytime you have a guy that's 7 feet, 260 pounds, as mobile as Ballo is in the middle, and he just creates so many mismatches, and then they have great guards as well and forwards. So I think it should be a great game tomorrow, but we just have to play with tremendous energy like we did on Saturday.
Boogie, what was your takeaways from your first matchup? You missed, obviously, the first game in Tucson, but getting a chance to play against Caleb Love last Saturday, and what excites you about the chance to play against the Pac-12 Player of the Year?
Just, I'm just here, just trying to get a win. I don't really care about none of that stuff. I just, care about winning.
Boogie, you struggled to score, whatever it was, Saturday, I guess, against Arizona, and today you were very hot. What was the difference? What changed for you?
Just made shots.
It's so simple that it's funny. Just make shots. But real quick, Kelvin, Kobe Johnson there talked about the physicality that they brought defensively. How do you combat that from the offensive side if you're Arizona today?
Go to your most physical guy.
Umar Ballo.
Ballo and Keyshawn Johnson.
Pella's pretty physical, too.
And get Pella going downhill. And also, and when you're being physical, this is basketball. It's not football. And so if you're being physical against me, I got to get downhill. I got to attack that physicality and get your guys in foul trouble. And so one of the ways, again, is I'll go right to Ballo, and everything as far as if I'm a guard, everything I'm doing, I'm getting downhill on you. I'm forcing you to either have to cut me off and foul me or let me go. But I'm not going to just shoot jumpers in your face and let you just you're pressing up against me. I have no airspace and shooting jumpers in your face just to knock down threes. I'm trying to win the game.
Yeah, it's tough because Caleb's got that mentality of like, you're going to zone me? You're going to give me this much space? I'm about to put this in your eye. And that's like that's his whole mentality. But if those 23, 24-footers are not falling to loosen up that zone, that's what we saw against USC, is that there was a stretch there, especially about 8-10 minutes in the first half. They were having some turnover issues. Guards started settling. Kelvin's obviously exactly right as always. The thing you do against a physical defense like that, especially with guys like Collier, Ellis, really strong on-ball guards, is you go physical. You make them play defense. You make them move their feet, and you go at them and don't settle for 23-footers with 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
And this group is what we heard with ASU, handsy. This group is handsy. This is an athletic, handsy guard group. So the way you beat them hands, I said it. You attack them. You attack them. You get some pick and rolls, and then again, you just go to your more physical players in there and foul those guys out and force their guards to have to come off and help more, which is going to open up the perimeter and put you in a situation where you can play off closeouts.
Yeah. Last thing, real quick, DK. 15 steals against the Tommy Lloyd team is a number you're probably not likely to see again. 15 steals from the Trojans in that game. That is an outrageous number. You don't, because they're usually really good at taking care of the ball, especially the guards. So, yeah, 15 steals. I don't expect anything like that today.
All right, that's our first look at the USC Trojans.
That's been our first look at today's Arizona men's basketball game. Brought to you by The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com.
And don't forget, Window Depot also sponsors Arizona's top rebounding performance every game. It's the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Might be the Wildcat with the most rebounds. Might be the U of A star with the most impactful boards. We'll tell you the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game coming up this afternoon on the Meridian Wealth Management post-game show. We're going to chat with Jim Anderson, the golf coach at U of A, next. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. We're coming to you live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown and Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Striving to be the best never grows old, and that's especially true right now during O'Reilly Chevrolet's 100th anniversary celebration. Great customer service is what we've hung our cowboy hat on for more than a century. Even today, we have a new inventory arriving with factory incentives available, and there are great deals to be had. Check them out at O'Reilly.com, call 747-8000, or come to our party on the 23rd to Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Southern Arizona and O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way, and we all know that extreme heat comes next. Right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, 6 decades of service, and dozens of top shop awards, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. This month, get back big rebates on all your favorite major brand tires. Save more on the most affordable, long-lasting tires. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and money-saving coupons. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style, and top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio, with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Thana A'am Nation.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown and Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we're back here at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. It is Arizona men's basketball today at the Pac-12 tournament, the quarterfinals, as the number 6 Wildcats, number 1 seed here in this tournament, will take on the USC Trojans. Tip-off coming up for you at 12 o'clock. We are going to divert from a little basketball and talk some U of A golf right now, as the fellas have the Intercollegiate coming up this weekend at the Tucson Country Club, and they are going to be hosting their second event of the year. We're pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Arizona men's golf team, Jim Anderson. And Jim, since we spoke with you, a couple of tournaments that you guys have been in, one of which you were able to get a victory at the John A. Burns Invitational, beating California by 3 shots in that event, which was held over in Hawaii. First of all, I know the guys really have to enjoy going to play golf in a place like Hawaii. That had to have been fun.
Good morning, DK. Yeah, absolutely. We were fortunate to get invited to this tournament, which has been something we've been competing in for almost 30 years annually. There's, teams lining up out the door, 20 teams plus usually competing, and an opportunity to compete in Hawaii is definitely something we're excited about. And thankfully we played really well and can make a pretty good case that we need to compete in Hawaii when we're able to. So it was a great trip. Thank you.
Yeah, and you got some pretty good performances over there, and it's kind of the interesting thing. You look at it with your team; it's not necessarily always one guy. It seems to be that you're getting a lot of contributions from all of your players. The guy in that particular tournament was Yannick Malik, who finished at -8. Tell us a little bit about him. He had a great first round. Maybe didn't have the second round he wanted in that tournament, but really battled that third day to get on the medal stand.
Absolutely, and Yannick continues impressing. He's only a sophomore, and actually he's only in his third semester here on the team and at the school. So he came in last spring and was adjusting like many do. Then this fall, he kind of had figured out qualifying, so he played really well, traveled to all 4 tournaments, and had one good tournament, but the other 3 were in pieces good, but also overall had room to improve. And what we're seeing this spring is him kind of figuring it all out. I mean, the minute you think you got everything figured out in golf, it'll humble you quick too. So don't don't let that confidence dismiss the fact that we're very humble about it too. But Yannick's really worked hard, and he's a talented player. He came in as a top recruit too, is competitive as anybody on our team. And, what we're seeing is him really kind of finding his own as he travels, gets used to what a college event feels and looks like, is getting confidence in his own game. And it really shined that week in Hawaii. And you nailed it. I think the most impressive part about Yannick's week, other than, he finished second place, had a chance to win. He didn't struggle on day two, but he really didn't have his best stuff and struggled on some of the easier holes, making a couple bogeys. And he adjusted on it and came out rock solid final round. So I was really, really proud and impressed with that performance.
Then you guys moved on to the Cabo Collegiate. A little bit different outcome there, finishing in 11th place, plus 11, 20 shots behind Arkansas that won it. How did you just kind of evaluate what didn't maybe go well there?
Yeah, and again, golf can humble us all. And, I don't think we came in there overconfident at all. In fact, we played the event at Cabo Collegiate last year. It welcomes the best field in all of college golf for the spring. So, we knew we had our hands full and we were going to be tested, and the golf courses present some real challenges. I think we overcoached our team in terms of being prepared for the green speeds, the green firmness. As last year, I think only 2 teams broke par. And so, taking credit for the bad, I would say that if I could do things over with messaging to the team, I would say let's be a little more aggressive into the greens. Let's be a little bit more aggressive with our speed. I think, we probably spooked the guys just a little bit. And that's really what the spring is all about, is getting used to different conditions, seeing how our team's performing in high-level events. We've obviously seen some great stuff. And, we have weeks where we learn. So we're going to take the experience we picked up in Cabo, let it humble us for a minute, but then also get ready to come out the gates and be ready to perform here at home next week.
Jim Anderson joining us, the head men's golf coach at the University of Arizona. They've got the Arizona Intercollegiate coming up next week out at the Tucson Country Club. Jim, I want to ask you about another one of your young golfers, and forgive me if I butcher this young man's name, but Filip Jakubic.
Pretty good, DK. I think if Philip, and he's just an awesome guy, really kind, really warm person. He would probably correct us only if we demanded that he tells us how to pronounce it. But it goes by Jakubic a lot, or Jakubic, like you said. I think the pronunciation that I can give you is Yakubchik.
Yeah.
So you were pretty close. I'll give you a B+.
That's right. Or silent J. Yakubchik. Okay.
That's right. He's from Czech Republic, and he's playing great. So he's been doing some great stuff for us.
Yeah. What's kind of been the key to his? He's a sophomore. What's kind of maybe been the key to his success?
I've not seen too many players, both that I've coached and even just evaluating, who have as good of iron play as Philip does, and he doesn't miss out on other parts of the game too. He works very hard across the board, but his ball flight, the repetitiveness of the windows that his ball's exiting, when he's hitting a 7-iron and he calls out a small draw, you're getting it and it's going the distance he calls it. I don't see too many guys with the ball striking skills that Philip has. So I would say, in a nutshell, that's probably the most impressive part of his game. But that said, he doesn't have an area that we come back and we're like, yeah, we really need to work on your driving again, or, if you only putt it a little better. He does all those other things really well too. It's just his irons play is what I would say is exceptional.
Obviously, for you guys to be ultra successful, you're going to need, Tiger Christensen to be there for you at the top of the leaderboard. He's had some struggles the last couple of tournaments. What's kind of going on with him right now, and where does he kind of maybe need to refine things?
Honestly, we've made some equipment tweaks for him, and Tiger, like many, professionals that I've been around, he's soon to be, in a couple of, 18 months a professional too. He has he's incredibly confident in his own abilities. So he's not shaken by one rough performance. He doesn't question what he's doing. And I admire that. I encourage that. And I try to continue feeding that for him. So we've checked some of his equipment, and he's not blaming any of his performance on equipment. But what we found is there's a shaft in in his driver that was not letting him turn the ball over the way he wanted to. It was just a small tweak. We've got him into a new shaft. I'm not saying that's going to fix everything, but he's already started out our first qualifying round completed yesterday, and he looks like the form of Tiger that we all enjoy. So he shot 3 under leading the qualifier in some tough setup with the wind yesterday. So I have no concerns about Tiger long term. Of course, there's anything we can do as coaches, Coach Walton and myself. We're going to support him in any way we can. And the best part about Tiger is he has the self-confidence I mentioned, and he has the work ethic. He's going to figure it out. Golf is what he does. It's what he loves, and that's what he's here to do. So he's absolutely going to be a key part of what's going on with our team to finish this year and moving forward as well.
That's interesting, Jim. Just kind of, you talk about trying, defining an issue with the equipment. How often do you find those instances where maybe the shaft is not right or there's an issue there, and how easy is it what goes into, I guess, correcting that? Is it simply sending all the clubs back and getting a new set of clubs, or do you have to go in and tweak specific clubs specifically? How does all that work?
It's a great question, and as a college coach, we're talking about 18 to 22-year-olds, DK. So I have to walk the fine line between, the person who doesn't quite understand the big picture and understand, the person who's not willing to be, self-aware that, okay, my performance maybe was my fault. I got to coach that. The old school coach has to remind them that, hey, buddy, your ball stopped where you hit it. It's not, you didn't, DK, when we go play, yeah, you got a bad bounce, right? It hit the cart path and went out of bounds. Okay, that was unlucky. But our guys, the cart path was there when we hit before, so wherever our ball stops, we're responsible for that. But there is absolutely, and the level these guys play here in college, and Tiger, for example, because we're talking about him, played in a major championship last year. The margins for performance are so small that every single nook and cranny, including equipment, needs to be exhausted. And, with Tiger, for example, the driver that I just mentioned, we were able to get 3 or 4 shafts sent in, and with the equipment being as great as it is now, and Tiger plays Titleist, so, he's got great support there. We were able to take right there on the driving range, those 3 or 4 shafts, check it with the technology we have for the team with TrackMan, and Tiger gets to, give feedback on that and land at a decision. So, that's a big part of it. And the psychology of golf and you feeling confident with your equipment, you trusting your equipment, that's a big part of coaching too. So, I want our guys to be accountable. I want them to be, able to do some self-awareness. It's like, yeah, I didn't putt well, but if it's because your putter's 3 degrees upright and it needs to be 2 degrees flat, we need to be able to assess that and make those adjustments.
Jim Anderson, U of A men's golf coach, is joining us. It's the Arizona Thunderbirds Intercollegiate coming up at Tucson Country Club. Jim, how's progress going on the clubhouse there and all of that, as you guys, obviously that's going to be your future home?
Absolutely. We couldn't be more excited. We're about a month away from opening up the William and Bill Clements Golf Center, and it looks amazing. So our teams are salivating to get into their new home and use the technology, have their own locker, be able to get, a place to get some studying in and take advantage of the facility that's on the way. So we're, like I said, about a month out, and everything is moving along very, very well with the final steps. And it won't be long, and we'll be able to show off a brand new home at Tucson Country Club that we couldn't be more proud of.
And if folks want to get out to the event coming up Monday and Tuesday, pretty easy to do that. I imagine play will start early, around 7, 8 in the morning.
That's exactly right. And this time of year is a good time to take in golf, as we all know and love here in Tucson. But 7:30 a.m. will be the tee times will start. Wildcats will be off early on Monday morning, so come out and watch. We'll be playing all day, probably 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, play 36 holes. So come out, enjoy 9 holes, get a nice little brisk walk in if you feel like it. Admission is free, and we love the support that the Tucson golf community shows. We've got over 30 volunteers for each of the shifts that are coming out to do the live scoring, and the energy around the club couldn't be more positive about the tournament. So we'd love for any and all to show up and see some high-level college golf.
Outstanding. It is coming up Monday and Tuesday out at the Tucson Country Club, the Arizona Thunderbirds Intercollegiate. How many teams in this event, Jim?
We've got 14 teams coming in this year, so it's definitely going to be widely contested, and the course is in great shape. Kent McCutcheon, Ryan Davis, Steve Grove all have done a great job getting ready for this, and it'll be a great showcase for us and the visiting teams.
Outstanding. We'll see you out there next week, Jim.
DK, thanks, and good luck to the Cats today and this weekend. Can't wait to tune in. I'm kind of jealous that I'm not at T-Mobile with you guys, but have a great week, a long week, and bear down.
Definitely. Jim Anderson, the head men's golf coach at the University of Arizona. Check out the Arizona Thunderbirds Intercollegiate coming up Monday and Tuesday out at the Tucson Country Club. All right, first hour in the books here in Las Vegas. Meridian Wealth Management countdown to tip-off show, also brought to you by, on our Pac-12 road trip, Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They are the official sponsor of our Pac-12 tournament road trip here. Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Your family deserves to breathe clean and healthy air. With Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog and Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot.
It's a party 100 years in the making, and all of Tucson is invited. Saturday, March 23rd, starting at 11 a.m., we'll kick off our 100-year anniversary party at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Along with the Chevy Classic Car Show, there'll be food trucks, balloon twisters, a caricature artist, and much more. Our cake cutting ceremony will start at 5 p.m., and our prize cutting, well, that's been going on for more than a century. So put it in your cell phone for the 23rd and see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or go to O'Reilly.com for more details. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is cooler here, and so pests are seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? University Termite and Pest Control has been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control for the past 50 years. You can too. University Termite and Pest Control. Find us online at bepestfree.com.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. When I need a winning strategy for my team, nothing beats knowledge and skill. That's why I recommend Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for all your home service needs. Having personally witnessed the impact of hard work and dedication, Right Way brings the same commitment to your home's comfort. Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, their team always delivers excellence. With a legacy of quality service since 1959, you know you're in good hands. So give your home the best. Choose Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Call or text 520-640-CATS or visit rightwayac.com.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic offers military discounts to retired and disabled veterans, and they now accept patients with access insurance. For more information and to find the location nearest you, visit firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
Most financial advisors I know have had a moment in their career where they thought, with more control, I would do things differently for my client's sake. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and our firm was created by advisors with the understanding that we need flexibility, control, and decision-making power to create the best experience for our clients. If you're an advisor interested in learning more about our growing firm, call me at 719-1433 to talk more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer looking for quality car parts in Tucson, look no further. Advance Auto Parts has 6 Tucson locations with over 75 years in business. Advance Auto Parts is the largest car parts retailer in the U.S., and customers know they can trust their products, like Die-Hard batteries. Now with free installation, only found at Advance Auto Parts stores. Take advantage of our same-day delivery and pickup. Just visit our website at stores.advanceautoparts.com and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Advance Auto Parts, for all your car repair needs. Now a proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
Hour number 2 of the show. We'll shine a spotlight on Caleb Love, the Pac-12 Player of the Year. Give you your Pac-12 scoreboard on Mesquite Valley Growers. Arizona State did not really bother to show up for this tournament. Brian Jeffries will join us with your view from courtside. Your best bets will be coming up today. Arizona, a 9-point favorite against the USC Trojans. Can they cover that? Ryan Radke is going to join us. He is here in Las Vegas this week. He'll call one of the semifinal games, as I believe he is calling the if it's Arizona, he'll call the Arizona semifinal tomorrow, and then he'll call the championship game for Westwood 1, Arizona grad, 1998. Ryan will join us a little bit later. And, of course, your keys to the game between the Wildcats and the Southern California Trojans. We also want to hear from you this morning, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you want to get in on the program, if you are already here in Las Vegas, if you are on your way up. I know a lot of people are still coming up today for these games, and so drive safely. We'll keep you company as you're heading up the trek from Tucson here to Las Vegas. Caleb Love is standing on top of the Pac-12 Conference as its best player.
Our pregame show Spotlight on a Cat is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Will do the inbounding, get it to Love in the right corner. Jumper for 3 is good. Oh my, Caleb Love with a pretty 3. Alexis of Tucson charity 3. He's got 17 points, and the Wildcats lead by 22. Timeout, Bruins. Rebound out to Evans, stolen away by Love. Caleb on a breakaway windmill jam.
Caleb Love is the Pac-12 Player of the Year. Pretty impressive. He's the 10th player in Arizona history to win that award. The second in the 3 seasons Tommy Lloyd has been the head coach, as Benedict Mathurin won the award in 2022. He'll likely be an All-American, 4th in the Pac-12 in overall scoring at 19 per game, 3rd in free throw percentage at 87%, 4th in three-point field goals per game at almost 3 made three-point field goals per game, 7th in assist to turnover ratio at almost 2-to-1, 9th in assists at 3 per ball game. What does winning Pac-12 Player of the Year mean to Caleb Love?
It means a lot. First and foremost, I just want to thank God, for putting me in this position and, bless me with the gifts and talents to play this game. And, I feel like this is a team award because, without, my team and my, coaches, I wouldn't get this award. So a lot of credit to them. I just put so much work in and, I just keep my head down and, just continue to work. And I think, that's, a big thing for me. Just constantly working and, the results will come.
you came here saying, you know, of course you wanted to win, you had things to work on within your game. Is there any point, too, also during the season where you said, hey, I can maybe win an award like this along the way?
Definitely wanted to, you know, like you said, you know, I wanted to win first and foremost. And, you know, I wanted my legacy to, you know, be a winner. That's what I want, you know, to leave off of. And so, but you do have individual awards that, you know, you kind of, you know, set goals for. And this was one of my goals for sure. Like I said, but, you know, I couldn't do it without my team and, you know, the things that they've done and sacrifice as well as I have, and the coaches constantly, you know, helping me, preparing me each and every day, each and every game. And, you know, this is definitely a blessing.
Kelvin, first time we've had a chance to talk to you since these awards were announced on Tuesday. Just your thoughts on Caleb Love, the Pac-12 Player of the Year.
Yeah, I think it was well-deserved. You know, we always talk about the best player on the best team winning that award. I think the only guy that was really close, I thought it was Isaac Jones from Washington State. That's, in my eyes, you know, was the other guy that was one of the more dominant guys in the conference. But I think they also had Rice on their team as well, right, the guard. So I think that kind of, you know, they kind of canceled each other out there.
Miles Rice, yeah.
Yeah, I think they canceled each other out there. So, yeah, man, I think he definitely won the award. I love his leadership all season, the way he came in from the beginning. He kind of took his time and he didn't come and try to just take over as a scorer. But when the opportunity came, he was that guy that didn't mind taking the shots for a team that won a conference. So I for sure think he earned that award.
As I mentioned, he is the 10th to win it. J-Dub, you are the historian. I want to see how many of these guys you can name.
Oh, okay. Well, I know Sean won it twice.
Sean Elliott twice.
And I bet Khalid probably won that one year. He's 25 or whatever. It's probably the next one.
Khalid did not win it, no.
I know JT won as a senior, right?
JT won, yeah, he's won.
Let's see. Obviously, yeah, I don't.
The best point guard of all time.
Stoudemire?
David
Yeah.
Stoudemire. He's on the list.
I know Damon as a senior, obviously, was
he was actually
I played with him, and I didn't know he won.
Co-player of the year. I don't know.
One-man show. Yeah, I don't really, as a historian of Arizona basketball, I don't really have a list of the MVPs in my brain. I do have a question, though, real quick, for Kelvin. KJ Simpson is the guy. Like, we talked about the Washington State guys, but KJ Simpson is that other guy with the efficiency numbers. DK mentioned 2 out of 3 years, Cats won MVP. Last year, Zoo led the conference in scoring by 2 points and led the conference in rebounding for the first time it had been done in 17 years, and he finished second to Jaime Jaquez Jr. So that whole, like, best player, best team thing, look no further than last season. So I've heard some people say, Roxy, right, DK?
Yeah.
Roxy Bernstein said that he would have voted for KJ Simpson this year. And I'm thinking, like, how does Jaime Jaquez win last year? The Bruins won the league by 4 games last year, so it makes sense.
Right.
But Zoo was 2 points a game ahead of the second place guy and led the conference in rebounding by a board per game. And he didn't win last year, so you can't give it to KJ this year.
I thought Jaquez was definitely the best player in the league last year. I definitely love what Zoo brought to the team, and we won a lot of games. But as far as you said it, they won by 4. So that's easy win for Jaquez right there. I didn't think KJ Simpson was in the conversation. I just don't understand how. What did they finish 5th?
Something like that. They fell off a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, USC was 5th, so they had to have been 4th. Right?
Yeah.
Fourth. So they did get the bye. I you know, watching him play, I feel like he got a lot of shots because of the injuries on his teams. And I mean, he's played well in the past before, but I just don't think his play was dominant enough to get the wins that they needed to be in that conversation. I just don't.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to talk a little about USC's injuries, Buffs too, right? I mean, if Buffs had been full strength all year long, it'd be a different conversation because they finished a couple of games back. But yeah, I think that was the storyline. If I had to pick a storyline for this year's conference, and this goes into the MVP and all league awards, some of those guys would have been all league if they would have played all season.
Exactly. And the other thing I'll say about this, I think the KJ Simpson thing and is more about Caleb Love being new to the conference. Him being a first-year guy. I think the people are a little in love with KJ because he's been here, 3 years. on the West Coast. You know who he is. He's a popular guy. So you would have thought amongst the coaches, but I thought they got it right. I think you have to take out that because it's the same as when you talk about how much love will Caleb Love have or Keyshawn Johnson have with being here 1 year. I think it goes by your play and the success of your team.
Yeah, by the way, that year Damon won. That was Ed O'Bannon.
Yeah, that was who he shared
And
it
he
with.
was the National Player of the Year. Ed O'Bannon got voted as the Naismith National Player of the Year that year and split Conference Player of the Year with Damon.
Yeah. Sean Elliott, 1988. Sean Elliott, 1989. Chris Mills, 1993.
The forgotten man. I love Chris Mills, yeah.
Damon Stoudemire, as you mentioned, shared it with Ed O'Bannon in 1995. Mike Bibby in 1998. Jason Terry in
Triangle two.
1999. Then the Wildcats went 12 years between Jason Terry and Derek Williams in 2011, the first player of the Sean Miller era to win Player of the Year. Nick Johnson in 2014, DeAndre Ayton in 2018, Benedict Mather in 2022, and Caleb Love in 2024. Those are your Pac-12 Players of the Year from Arizona. Tommy Lloyd on what it has meant to coach this year's top player, Caleb Love.
Obviously, he's had a great year. He's a great dude, great young man. We're fortunate to have him, and I'm really proud of him. You know, I don't think, you know, that wasn't a goal that we'd set or anything. You know, I mean, our goals are all, you know, focused within the team, and you know, for him to do that means our team performed well. And you know, last year I think Zoo was the runner-up to a very deserving Jaime Jaquez, and you know, they were the league champs. I mean, and he was the best player on the league champs, so that makes him the MVP in my book. So you know, and we were fortunate the first year to have Ben get it here, and so I think it's really good. I mean, I'm really excited for Caleb. You know, I'm excited for our group. You know, I looked at all the other awards, and there's lots of deserving guys out there. I know this. You know, we have guys in this team that were deserving of more, but you know, other teams have got good players as well, and we acknowledge that. I wouldn't trade any of our guys for anybody. I love the group we have, and I'm excited for us to take the next steps in our journey.
About Caleb several times this year, how you had those conversations with him early on in the year about fitting into this team and being, you know, the number one team guy. He came in with the right mindset, then he saw the individual rewards. Is that what you want for players in your program, to get honored after really embracing that team mindset?
Well, for sure. I mean, I think that's the only way you do get honored, and you know, it's an ongoing battle. It really is. You know, you're fighting for your culture. You're fighting for individual growth every single day, and it's not just an upward trend. Like for example, Caleb didn't play good last game, you know, and fortunately he had stacked together a bunch of good games before that for us and for him. But you know, those are continuing conversations that he and I have of just getting this award doesn't mean that he's arrived. I mean, you know, honestly, he's still a work in progress, as am I, as is our team. So yeah, so you know, I mean. I don't think, getting back to your main question, I don't think there's any other way to win an individual award unless you embrace the team.
And Caleb Love, with this honor, has also put himself in another very special conversation for a future award as well here at Arizona.
This award qualifies you for that Ring of Honor right there. I mean, have you thought about that or seen any of the ceremonies and figured, your name's gonna be up there now?
That's a blessing. You know, you walk in the gym and you see all the names above there, and you see the jerseys. That's, you know, up there, and so obviously that's definitely a blessing for me. Just being, you know, a kid that, you know, came from St. Louis, and you know, things weren't easy for me. I had a rocky road, and you know, I kind of got, you know, tripped up a little bit, but you know, God has, you know, gave me a second chance, and you know, I'm just grateful and I'm blessed that I'm here.
So he will, at some point, whether it's next year or the year after, see his name unveiled into the rafters at McHale Center as a Ring of Honor member. We saw it done for Christian Coloco, Benedict Mather, and obviously this year Kenny Lofton as well. Caleb Love will have his name up there at some point in the very near future, as he is a now Pac-12 Player of the Year, which is one of the prerequisites to get on that list. He'll be an All-American, a McDonald's All-American. That's one of the things that's always interesting to track, the young men who are McDonald's All-Americans coming out of high school. Can they be All-Americans at some point in their college careers? And Caleb Love has definitely achieved.
Most of those guys don't stick around, Kelvin.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Yeah, they do not stick around long enough to become All-American.
Yeah, and now this day and age, like you get a McDonald's, you might not even go to college, right? You're talking about the, overtime elite, and all those other opportunities. Overseas.
Australia.
Yeah, like the youngest ball kid did. I mean, like there's avenues that players out of, but, traditionally in these last 20, 25 years, the McDonald's All-American team, I would say on average, like 5 of those guys play 4 years.
Yeah.
Like those guys are the guys who you see jump at least after their sophomore year, if not after their freshman year.
You know what? I was going to say this too. A fun fact about Caleb Love is that a lot of people don't know remember Courtney Ramey?
Of course.
Yeah.
St. Louis?
Yeah.
Got another St. Louis kid, Caleb Love, the next year. A lot of dividends were paid with Courtney Ramey playing here last year. I think because Caleb Love played for Courtney's dad for Team Ramey.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that showed you how well that he was treated by Arizona Ramey to even offer that option to his friend coming from North Carolina. I mean, he did go by way of Michigan, but when the door opened up, he came right to Arizona because I guarantee you had something to do with that trust with the Ramey family and with the work that Lloyd and them did here with Ramey for that trust to be established.
Indeed. Maybe that's that's a pipeline that we'll continue to see with players coming out of St. Louis here to Arizona. That would be something to look forward to as we go down the line in this Tommy Lloyd coaching.
Transfers, though. Transfers.
Right.
All conference transfers.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's our spotlight on Caleb Love.
As today's Spotlight on a Cat has been brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Brian Jeffries will join us next. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson Police Department.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vail School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & K with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
It's a party 100 years in the making, and all of Tucson is invited. Saturday, March 23rd, starting at 11 a.m., we'll kick off our 100-year anniversary party at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Along with the Chevy Classic Car Show, there'll be food trucks, balloon twisters, a caricature artist, and much more. Our cake cutting ceremony will start at 5 p.m., and our prize cutting, well, that's been going on for more than a century. So put it in your cell phone for the 23rd and see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or go to O'Reilly.com for more details. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona, with offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona. The Eagle gives you home court advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne makes the right play in any situation. So, after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm get you the settlement you deserve. It's a slam dunk. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE. Eagle.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way, and we all know that extreme heat comes next. Right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, 6 decades of service, and dozens of top shop awards, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. This month, get back big rebates on all your favorite major brand tires. Save more on the most affordable, long-lasting tires. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and money-saving coupons. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
Southern Arizona Radiology Associates have been dedicated to providing superior images and quality care for the last 35 years. They're the one you trust when you need an X-ray, CT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or MRI. They have locations in Tucson, Green Valley, and Sierra Vista. Ask your doctor to refer you to Southern Arizona Radiology Associates today. That's Southern Arizona Radiology Associates. Visit their website at sararadiology.com or call 520-335-6849 for more information.
Hi, this is Mary with my friends at Mesquite Valley Growers. MVG has a brand new comfort-controlled tropical house full of beautiful tropical indoor plants. Green plants of every size to bring inside your home, apartment, office, even your bedroom. Mesquite Valley Growers has a solution to any space, anywhere, both inside and outside. Mesquite Valley Growers on Speedway just east of Pantano. Open 7 days a week. Mesquite Valley Growers, real experience, real nursery.
This just in, Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit.
Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290. It's time now to take you down the front row of the arena. A view from courtside is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, celebrating 25 years serving Southern Arizona.
Back here in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, getting you set for Arizona and Southern California in the quarterfinals of the Pac-12 tournament. The game will commence at noon. We've got you till 11 o'clock here, and it is our Pac-12 road trip as well, brought to you by Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Your family deserves to breathe clean and healthy air. I had a chance to catch up with Brian Jeffries yesterday. He is our spotlight, or our view from courtside, as we get you set for the Wildcats and the USC Trojans. The voice of the Wildcats, Brian Jeffries. He is here in Las Vegas as well. Brian was out watching a little bit of that first game with the Washington Huskies and the Southern California Trojans. Brian, 80-74, USC gets the win, coming off the game last Saturday in Los Angeles against USC. What have been your impressions the last two times you've had a chance to see these Trojans play? It's beginning to look like the team we thought it was going to be the entire season.
Well, they're healthy, and I think that's a big factor. It's a long team, and that's why they play such good defense, and they get enough offense out of their guards and wings that they've looked much better here the last, really couple of weeks. And so I think the other thing that, of course, affected Arizona was the zone defense that USC plays, and they slowed the game down. I thought today was a good example. When Washington was able to speed things up, the Huskies had the lead. When USC got in front, was able to spread the court, go to that zone, that slowed the Huskies down. And so that's going to be the Cats' biggest challenge tomorrow. Again, their zone offense against that USC zone defense. It was very effective on Saturday at Galen Center, and that Andy Enfield's going to probably put it in from the outset tomorrow.
Well, and early on, the kid from Washington, Moses Wood, was just unstoppable knocking down threes. I was telling J-Dub, man, that's the kind of, well, one, if you want to beat the zone, that's what you need. You need that guy that can get hot from outside. And if you're defending a team like that, it's players like that really get me scared at this time of year. Guys that can just kind of, for lack of a better term, go on a bender and just start knocking down 5, 6, 7 3-pointers in a tournament setting to help a club win a game. How scary are guys like that? I mean, I'm sure you've seen a lot of them.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing about the three-point shot is that it can come and it can go. And so when you're hot like that, and if you're on the right team, that's a very dangerous weapon to have. And Boogie Ellis got going in the second half of today's game, and there's a guy that is fully capable of putting 5 or 6 threes on the board. And so you've got to, you've got to be conscious of that. You've got to know who the shooters are. And I think facing USC tomorrow, they got a couple of guys, and Ellis being number one there, that they just can't allow them open looks. And if they do that, if they play good perimeter defense, and that has not always been the Wildcats' strength this year, but if they can, then they can neutralize, I think, USC's strength, because the Trojans don't have a lot on the inside game, and offensively they don't get a lot, and defensively they're very foul prone. And so if it's a perimeter game, and if USC is successful in that area, that can be to their advantage, and that's what the Wildcats have to take away.
Well, and that was one of the things, Brian, when we talked about after the game, we thought that, and Kelvin thought especially, that the Wildcats should have pounded the ball inside more in that game in Los Angeles. I mean, more Ballo, more key shot, more Krivas, because that seemed to be working early.
Well, it is, but you also have to give the other team credit. And did they allow that to happen? I think the zone, one thing about the zone, if it's played properly, and I think USC played it properly, is that they'll deny those entry passes. Now, there's ways around that, but Arizona was not able to take advantage of it on Saturday. So that's one thing that they've got to change up. Yeah, they do want to get the ball inside. That was the game plan from the get-go, and it will be again tomorrow, because that's where Arizona does most of its damage in the paint. But you got to get the ball to those big guys. And so I think one thing that the Wildcats probably would like to do better tomorrow, and that's, they'd like to drive the ball. They'd like to be a little more aggressive with their guards. Don't just, take a three if you have an opening. If you have an opening, that's one thing. But, try and drive the ball inside, because good things can happen. You can get fouled. You can dump it off to one of those big guys. I think they'll change things up a little bit. At least from what I've seen, and the teams are about to get on the bus here to go to practice and see what the game plan is. But I think they're going to change up a little bit from what they did on Saturday in terms of how they want to attack that zone.
So now where are they working? They're working out, I would imagine, maybe at a high school here in town or something of that nature?
Yes. There's several high schools here that are designated as practice sites for the different teams on game days, because T-Mobile is obviously in use all day. The team did go to T-Mobile last night and got some shots in. The only other opportunity was very early this morning. They had a 30-minute window there, but instead of that, they decided to practice last night at T-Mobile, just to kind of get your footing for the guys that haven't been in that arena before. And then today they're at a high school, and tomorrow morning they have that option again if they want to go over to T-Mobile and take some shots. And I think, Tom, you'll probably make that decision here tonight.
Brian Jeffries joining us, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats. Brian, when you look at, obviously, Boogie Ellis got hot today with 25 points, made 5 threes, did not get hot in that game on Saturday. Did you notice anything defensively that the Wildcats were doing in that game Saturday that kind of took him out of his rhythm?
Oh, I don't know. I just think you could say the same thing about Caleb Love. I think those two guys just had off games, and that's all there is to it. And for Boogie, maybe it was senioritis on his last day at Galen Center. Caleb, missed a couple early shots, and things just weren't falling. And that, to me, that was probably one of the interesting storylines of the game on Saturday, is the two leading scorers. Neither of them had much of an impact on the game. Both of them well under their average. And so I don't think that was necessarily anything that Arizona did great defensively. You could say the same thing about USC. I mean, trying to stop Caleb Love, you knew that was going to be one of their focal points, but shots weren't falling, and that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that, again, that's the other thing I think when you look about what concerns you. I think for me, It's that you'll get some guys that get into shooting slumps in a situation like that. You hope that doesn't happen at this time of year, but it can, and that's when teams maybe on the lower end can creep up and beat a team like Arizona. We had a very interesting conversation on Saturday during the pregame show just about the value of the number one seed in the NCAA tournament. And the point that I brought to the table was that I didn't think, again, you've never won. I mean, you how many times, I think that J-Dub said Arizona's been a number one seed maybe 11 to 13 times. You've never won a national championship as a number one seed. So does that really matter? What's the value of that? How much does it mean to be a number one seed? Where do you come in on that about the importance of whether it's better to be a number one to number two? I know our guy Doug in Tucson pointed out that 40% of the number ones get to the Final Four and only 20% of the number twos get to the Final Four. What's kind of your feeling on whether it matters or how much it matters to be a number one seed in the NCAA tournament?
Well, I think a couple of things. It matters depending on your location. I think that's one thing. Now, since they've gone to the pod system, that's changed up a little bit. But, being able to play closer to home, I think, is important. And your matchups. I mean, all you have to do is look at Arizona last year. They didn't match up well with Princeton, and we know what the result was. And no, you have no control over that. The higher seed you are, hopefully you're getting a team that you are far superior from. But hey, Purdue lost last year, Arizona lost last year. I mean, teams with high seeds go down year in and year out. I mean, that's part of the beauty of the NCAA tournament. So, I think there is value. I think you want to be a top four seed. I think that is the number one thing because it improves that first round matchup for you. It probably keeps you closer to home. And, Arizona right now is projected as a 2 in the West, and they'll take it. I mean, if they can play in Salt Lake City next week and be a 2 seed in the West, I think some people have looked beyond that and said, okay, well, then who's number one? Who would you face in that regional final if you got to that point? And, that's always something that you can, spend too much time worrying about because you would love to get to the regional final, right? I mean, then it really doesn't matter. To me, once you get into this tournament, David, and I've been around it long enough, the seeding to me is secondary to the fact, are you prepared to play? Do you understand that it's win or go home? Do you have supreme effort every time out? If you're well coached and you follow the game plan, you're going to do very well. And I think that to me is more important than exactly where you're seated. And like I said, being closer to home is certainly a help. But Arizona got a championship when they went through a couple southern cities and ended up in Indianapolis. And so you never know. A lot of it is luck. And, Lute Olson used to talk about that. He said, yeah, you got to be good, but you got to be lucky. And a lot of that comes down to your draw and who do you end up matched up with in your region.
All right, Brian Jeffries, he is the voice of the Wildcats. It's Ryan on the call with you this weekend?
No, Reggie is here somewhere in Las Vegas.
Okay.
I'm searching for him right now. I'm still searching. I'll find him.
The craps table, maybe, or a good restaurant. Which one would you be likely to find Reggie at?
Well, I'm going at the latter just to be safe.
Okay, a good restaurant. There you go. You go. I still haven't gotten over to Ferraro's yet this week, but hopefully we can make that happen before Saturday night.
All right. Well, you won't be disappointed.
All right, Brian. I appreciate you as always. Have a great call tomorrow.
All right. We'll see you. Thanks.
We hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, celebrating 25 years serving Southern Arizona.
Always appreciate a chance to talk to Brian Jeffries, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats. Let's get a quick look of what is happening today around the rest of the Pac-12 conference.
The Pac-12 scoreboard is brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
All right, this is the second day of this tournament. There were 4 games yesterday on the docket. We'll run through them. We told you, obviously, USC defeated Washington to get to this game against the Wildcats, 82-74. UCLA advanced, beating Oregon State 67-57. And it was Dylan Andrews, 31 points in that ball game for the Bruins, who are 16-16 on the season. the game of the day was probably the rivalry game. Stanford and California. California had a 16-point lead on Stanford, but the Cardinal rally and win it in overtime by 11, 87-76. I believe, if I saw correctly, they ended that game on something like a 24-13 or 42-13, I think was the run or something at the down the stretch of that ball game and into overtime to give the Cardinal the comeback win there. Maxime Reynaud, 21 points, 13 rebounds in that contest. And then the nightcap, Arizona State did not bother to show up at all. They lose 90-57 to the Utah Utes. And in that contest right there, it was Devian Smith with 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. He finished 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Did Devian Smith.
We might need to get Kelvin's thoughts on players leaving to go get a paycheck the day after they leave their team. We talked about that the other day because Perez, he was a no-show. I think it was against UCLA,
right?
And Saturday for warm-ups, and then found out that he had been scratched aside to leave the program. The next day, Kelvin, the very next day, he suited up for his pro team in Dominican Republic, I believe. So. Yeah, the very next day. He said, and Coach Hurley said, yeah, he had a chance. Young man made a financial personal decision. He had a chance to go make money right now. It's like a tournament, and he just suited up for his pro team the next day after leaving ASU.
Yeah, that's tough as far as the team is concerned because he was a big part of that team. I mean, he was 25-year-old, so I think people need to understand that. He probably ready to get to living and realize that he's not going to have an NBA situation. And a lot of time with these European teams, and I mean, and that's not Europe, for sure. But what I'm saying is a lot of time with a lot of these pro teams, you have to leave when they tell you to leave. Now, of course, he could have said no and stayed and finished the season here, but he's missing an opportunity. What I would have did it, no. I'm more of a team guy. I'm more about my brothers, the guys that we say we brothers, and all the different things that we say to each other while we're competing. But also, I wouldn't be mad at my brother for doing what he had to do either.
Yeah, it's twofold, right? Because you come to college to play for your team, for your program, for your city. You're also interviewing for the next level.
Yes.
And as a guy who's a fifth-year guy, he played at 4 different places. ASU is his fourth stop, fifth-year guy, no more eligibility after this. This is his COVID year. So as far as exposure and looking at reading the tea leaves or whatever and looking down the road and seeing what chance the Sun Devils have of making postseason and him getting more exposure to up his stock, I mean, it doesn't seem like it was there. So I think if there's ever a chance, Kelvin, you would never leave a team. You would never leave a team, period. Teams 0-20, you're still going to be there till the season's over. I get that. But for his situation, his family, taking care of his family, whatever that
totally
is.
Understand,
yeah, I mean, you can't knock the guy for making that choice for himself.
And you have to judge each, even though it's a team, it's each individual situation. I mean, everybody's in a different situation, so trust me, I'm not going to be the guy to judge what he's going through or what his family situations are.
Yeah. All right, the 4 games today, USC, Arizona. That'll be the first game of the day here in Las Vegas. The second game of the afternoon session, UCLA will take on Oregon. And then the night session will feature Stanford against number 22 Washington State and Utah and Colorado, the pseudo-other rivalry game we've seen.
That's also the only game with implications, right? Because, the more recent bracketologies have one of those teams in and one of those teams out, and they got to play each other. So there's no real chance for either of those teams to make a deep run. One of them's got to go home. So as far as Washington State and Arizona being in, they're locks. Utah and Colorado, the other 2 teams with the chance to get into the tournament with an at-large bid. Unfortunately, they got to face each other. But that'll definitely be – there's a lot to play for is what I'm saying for those 2 teams today.
All right, that is a look at your scoreboard.
That's been the Pac-12 Scoreboard, brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
And coming up, we will dive into who will be that USC Trojan that might get underneath the skin of the Wildcats today. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. We are also brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Dave & Buster's, the best place to eat, drink, and play while watching this afternoon's game between the Wildcats and the USC Trojans. Take the day off from work. Go watch it at Dave & Buster's. Kelvin Ifan, JW Madden, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Striving to be the best never grows old, and that's especially true right now during O'Reilly Chevrolet's 100th anniversary celebration. Great customer service is what we've hung our cowboy hat on for more than a century. Even today, we have a new inventory arriving with factory incentives available, and there are great deals to be had. Check them out at O'Reilly.com, call 747-8000, or come to our party on the 23rd to Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Southern Arizona and O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is cooler here, and so pests are seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? University Termite and Pest Control has been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control for the past 50 years. You can too. University Termite and Pest Control. Find us online at bepestfree.com.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice. Okay, kids, we're home. Everybody out.
Ew, my feet are stuck.
In what, honey?
On the floor.
Ew. Take off your shoes. Tommy, come carry your sister into the house.
What do you do when the car you use the most has the least amount of time to get clean? Let Recon Auto Detailing, Arizona's premier auto detailing company, come to you and turn your busiest car back into your best. From basic cleaning to a full detail, Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Backs out the dribble, leave it for Boswell. Boswell
lost Rodman, then missed the shot, no good. Tip grabbed by Keyshawn, laid up, that's off the rim. Tipped by Ballo, missed that, no good. Rebound again underneath Keyshawn, throw it up, that's no good. Rebound Ballo, Arizona, knocked away by James out of bounds, and it'll be Arizona ball.
Great. Yeah, that was the kind of night it was in Los Angeles. What did they? I think they had 5 opportunities on that one possession to the Arizona Wildcats, and they could not get the shot to fall. Tommy Lloyd said, sometimes you just can't predict bad shooting nights like that.
If I knew how to make sure we didn't have a night like this, I would probably have won 25 national championships by now. But I don't know. I mean, you don't know. That's the hard thing. You have to help your team through those moments. Like I said, there's a lot of emotions that go into it.
Yes, I think that's one of my favorite cuts that he's ever said there. If I could figure that out, I'd have won a national championship every single year.
I mean, Coach Kelvin, how many nights of sleep do you lose, prepping for some monster team on the schedule you got to worry about, you dot every I, you cross every T, you got every scenario in your head figured out, and then something goes sideways, one of your best players gets in foul trouble. It's basketball, man. Stuff happens.
It's basketball, man, and as they say, I mean, he said the Pac-12 is hard, but basketball is hard, man. Basketball is hard, and so it's hard because you're dealing with people. You're dealing with people, and so you're dealing with people on the other team as well. You got some people trying to beat you. So man, it's a tough game, but it's beautiful because you get to compete and you get to figure it out.
Well, and Caleb Love, we mentioned, is the Pac-12 Player of the Year, and teams are paying a heck of a lot of attention to him. He's the guy in the game plan right now, and he talked this week about how he's adjusting to all the defenses that are being thrown to try to slow him down.
Definitely been coming up these past few games. Team's been doing that, kind of just keying on me. But like I said, I got to find a way. My team needs me. Not only to score, but be a playmaker and just be active on the floor when I'm out there. And then if my shot not falling, I gotta give that energy. I still gotta play defense. I still gotta get rebounds, get my teammates involved. So I gotta find a way. As a leader and as one of the vets on this team, I gotta find a way, regardless of what they're doing.
And real quick, DK, Kelvin, I'd like to hear you talk on this, but to me, it's not about him, it's about his teammates. Because Caleb's going to see doubles, he's going to see extra attention. Pella, KJ, those guys who drive closeouts hard, the guys who can get 2 feet in the paint. When you see Caleb see an extra perimeter attention on the defensive end, a quick pass and driving that scrambling defense, and maybe even a secondary, a hockey pass down to Ballo or Keyshot or whoever coming off a cut. That's how you get guys off of extra defensive attention for one of your star scorers on the perimeter.
Sound like J-Dub is stealing some of my keys to the game, because that's exactly what I said. With this team, Caleb Love is the real natural scorer of the bunch. So it kind of falls back into his hands because his teammates defer to him because they've been in practice with him every day and they respect it. Okay, so with that being said, when he is getting doubled, you have to have other guys step up and help you, because if the other guys play well, guess what? You can't double. You have to get back to your man. So you have to have those other guys aggressive, and they can't just look for the three. They have to get downhill, because when you get downhill and get easier buckets, if they shoot threes, that's probably be exactly what the defense want, right? But if they get downhill and get to the bucket and score easy bucket, or even get what we call reboundable misses, because when you miss 5 to 8 feet shots, it's easy rebounds for your big to get it. When you miss those 20, 30-foot shots, that rebound bounces over your big's head and they don't have a chance to get it. So by getting downhill and attacking, it forces that defense to have to make an adjustment and stop the doubling, because when you start attacking, it's going to leave a guy too open.
And I mentioned Pella and KJ driving the closeouts. I can't forget about the way Jaden Bradley's been getting to the rim lately, and that's another guy. Kylan Boswell might not be a guy you expect to get right to the rim, but Jaden Bradley's been real good at getting in there, got a nice mid-range game. So those 3 guys in particular, Pella, Jaden Bradley, and KJ Lewis, make the defense pay for putting an extra guy over there on Caleb.
It was a 13-point loss on Saturday at the Galen Center against USC, and again, it was a game that ultimately in the standings did not mean a whole lot. Maybe again, if the number 1 seed, if you're talking about that, then there was some meaning to that loss. It was a game, obviously, that frustrated the Arizona fan base, going and losing at USC after winning the Pac-12 Conference Championship on Thursday night at UCLA. Tommy Lloyd was asked this week about the fan base that gets upset when they see the inconsistencies with this basketball team.
Let me ask you a weird question because I hear it on the streets. It's frustrating to the fans. You play really well and then don't. Does this team frustrate you at all at times?
Well, I think I realized that it's hard to play great every single day. It's not like I know maybe fans don't understand that, and I appreciate and I love our fans, and I mean, fans are a huge part of the fuel to this mechanism that makes it go at the level it does. But like it's not just a constant or an upward trend. It's not how it works. There's ups and downs in this deal, and you're competing against another team. It's not a science experiment that once you've proven your theory, you can reprove it over and over and over again, and until it becomes like a fact. I mean, this is not like that. You have to go out and you have to compete on a nightly basis, and some days it's going to go great, some days it's not, and then you have to dissect, why did it go good, why didn't it go good, and it's a constant evaluation. Yeah, I want to know these streets where you're getting this information from. The streets of Tucson? Okay. Catalina Foothills streets, the streets there? Okay, good.
The streets are talking.
Word on the streets. The streets are talking. Exactly.
I love the bit there about the science experiment, Kelvin, because that's exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, my goodness.
Making it happen.
Oh, man. Let's find out who that Trojan is going to be that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin today.
Who is today's Pest of the Game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Check them out at BePestFree.com.
Guys, before we get to today's pest, let's go back and just revisit who we thought the Pest of the Game was from Saturday's loss to USC. I mean, obviously, you kind of controlled Boogie Ellis, and Isaiah Collier got his points, but you might have to maybe look at DJ Rodman as being the guy that was the pest the other night. 7 of 8 shots, DJ Rodman. I mean, I know, J-Dub, you were shocked that, when was the last time DJ Rodman shot that well in a game?
The last time you saw Arizona, that's when.
19.7 rebounds, so he might have been the pest, although, it was Isaiah Collier who had the highest plus-minus.
I think it was Kobe Johnson, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the 6 steals, I think Kobe Johnson's 6 steals in that game probably led more to Arizona getting uncomfortable, Kelvin, getting out of their own rhythm, maybe a little hungover from partying the night before, who knows. But, yeah, I mean, all those guys, right? It's all those – that team came with a concerted effort and energy and focus. So, yeah, there's a couple of guys, definitely, DK, that you could point to.
All right, so who are we going with today? We'll start with you, J-Dub.
Let's see. I will go with Joshua Morgan, and I'll go with him for a very simple reason. It's because if Umar Ballo gets fed and gets the number of field goal attempts that we think he should today, there's no chance USC could beat Arizona. Ballo is the one guy that they cannot account for. And Joshua Morgan obviously leading the conference in blocks, giving up about 35, 40 pounds to Ballo, but a force inside. And beyond that, guys, I mean, Iwachukwu is a 15, 18-minute a game guy, and he's just not ready because of his injuries and whatnot to match up with a guy like Ballo. So if you put force at that rim with the big man inside, so I think Joshua Morgan's the only guy who can maybe account for Umar down there, and that's the guy I look for being a pest and slowing Umar down if he can, being a key to USC potentially winning today.
Kelvin.
I'm actually, I thought for a second that you guys have stole all my notes. Again, I'm right here written on paper. Right here I got.
Yeah, and but listeners, Kelvin's like 15 feet away from me, so I can't exactly peek over his shoulder.
Yeah, so, for sure. But DJ Rodman is my guy, man. I mean, I just believe that the 17 points that he scored, the 7 of 8 for shooting, basically playing the power forward position, being able to knock the shots down from the perimeter, and we've had a problem guarding guys like that that's able to do that. to me, he's my pest because if he's able to make 17 points again and Boogie Ellis actually gets going today, it could be a long night for us.
And you think about the way Rodman plays, like that's kind of Keshad's style, where you don't expect Keshad Johnson to go 4 for 5 from deep, but if you're going to give him some space and he knocks his first couple down, he gets confident in that shot. I mean, and Rodman's the one guy you're going to leave out there, right? So, yeah, no doubt. He's scary if he gets it going early, especially.
Well, I'm going to go with the guy you just talked about, J-Dub, Kobe Johnson, just simply from the fact that I think he can kill you in a bunch of different ways. He can knock down. He's got the ability to knock down the three, and I've mentioned before, these are the types that if Arizona's going to lose, they're going to lose because a team comes in and makes 10-plus threes, and I think Kobe Johnson could be a guy that could factor into that. You mentioned the defense that he provides as well. He's also a guy that can be a dominant force on the boards, and so I think there's just a number of different areas that he can, he can help impact the ball game. So I'm going with Kobe Johnson for my guy. So Kobe Johnson, DJ Rodman, and Joshua Morgan. Those were the three. Those are your three pests from USC today.
That's today's Pest of the Game. The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Visit BePestFree.com.
Hour number 2 in the books. Still ahead, we're going to chat with Ryan Radke, the play-by-play man for Westwood One, Arizona Wildcat grad, 1998. He'll call the championship game here at the Pac-12 tournament, called the Pac-12 Tournament Women's Championship game this past Sunday. We'll ask him a little bit about that as well. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. We are also brought to you by, on our Pac-12 road trip, by Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Your family deserves to breathe clean and healthy air. So call Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing at 520-440-4069. With Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. When I need a winning strategy for my team, nothing beats knowledge and skill. That's why I recommend Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for all your home service needs. Having personally witnessed the impact of hard work and dedication, Right Way brings the same commitment to your home's comfort. Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, their team always delivers excellence. With a legacy of quality service since 1959, you know you're in good hands. So give your home the best. Choose Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Call or text 520-640-CATS or visit rightwayac.com.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
At Nova Home Loans, we believe everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy the independence that comes with home ownership. Whether you're a first-time home buyer who needs down payment assistance, have less than perfect credit, or looking to refinance, Nova has a variety of home loan programs for your unique situation. Visit novahomeloans.com or call 800-955-9125 to learn more. Not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Rates and available loan programs are subject to change without notice. NMLS 3087, BK 0902429, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really mattered, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet? Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
All right, one more chance for you to get in on this program, 520-848-1290. And we've got our best bets coming up. We're going to hear from Ron Arenas from Picture Rock Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing as well. He is sponsoring this Pac-12 road trip. Ryan Radke will join us from Westwood One Radio. We'll get you keys to the game and starting lineups as well. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show, brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the best place to eat, drink, and play while watching today's game between the Wildcats and the team from L.A., the USC Trojans. Arizona game day. Wildcats getting set for their appearance here in the Pac-12 Conference quarterfinals. Pleased to be joined by Ron Arenas from Picture Rock's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. He is sponsoring our Pac-12 road trip. And Ron, you made the drive up here on Wednesday. Was it smooth sailing to get up here to Las Vegas?
Yeah, it was pretty smooth sailing. We left at 4 a.m. on Wednesday and got up here and got to see all the games on Wednesday, so it was a good deal.
You know, yesterday's game between Washington and USC, man, the Trojans really had to overcome a deficit early to get back in that game and win it. I've said from the get-go that USC is the team that I really don't want to face. They've got some really talented players, and Isaiah Collier and Bronny James. And what scares you most? We had this question out on our Twitter account the other day. What most concerns you about the Wildcats coming into this tournament? What concern do you have right now about this team, this Wildcats team?
Well, that one concern that we have, I think that everyone has, is that last game that we played against USC. It just seemed like no one could get into the game. So we just need a couple guys to get hot, or actually, if each person on the team, if each starter on the team just does their job and contributes, then we'll be good to go.
All right, we talked to you on Monday about getting up here to Vegas, and now we're in Vegas. What do you guys like to do around basketball? I know you got the family up here with you. What do you guys like to do around Vegas outside of seeing the games?
A couple years ago, we went on the tour for the Raiders Stadium, and that was really cool. We're probably going to go to the Sphere this time.
Have you been to the Mob Museum yet?
No, I haven't.
Got to get down to the Mob Museum. If you like history and you like to kind of hear about how Las Vegas came together under mafia rule, it's really cool, especially listening to some of the wiretaps. You can go in there and they've got the FBI wiretaps when they were recording these guys and making their deals. That's a really cool thing in terms of seeing Las Vegas. Where are you guys staying up here?
We're staying at Timeshare, so we're just down the street on Tropicana.
Yeah, you guys, you like to gamble at all? What's your game of choice?
Dice.
Dice?
Yeah, we go to the craps table. We'll spend a lot of time there.
What's the most money Ron's ever won in Vegas?
Probably about $7,000.
$7,000 on craps alone?
Craps, yeah.
Wow. So do you have a strategy when you're playing?
Not really. I mean, just when the table's hot, you just get on that wave and you ride it. Yeah.
How about restaurants? You have any restaurants you like here in town?
No, not necessarily. Some of the restaurants have gone away since COVID.
Okay, now you said you have a timeshare here, so do you guys like to cook in and eat, or do you guys try to get out and eat a little bit as well?
Yeah, we'll cook breakfast each day, and then maybe 1 or 2 days we'll probably grill something.
All right, so when you come to the arena, what is your arena food of choice? What are you eating at the games?
We usually don't eat at the games, but we eat at the beer house just right down here, and we'll have barbecue.
Yeah, it's a good spot, right? Just a few steps away from the arena here. All right, Ron. If obviously you got this whole week here, and you're going to be going to all the games. How do you pace yourself on these the first couple of days, yesterday and today, to get through 4 basketball games?
Yeah, Wednesday is rough because we leave Tucson at 4 a.m. and the last game it ends later in the night, so yeah, that is a rough game. Then Wednesday night we just get our rest, and Thursday we're good to go for all 4 games.
All right, Ron. Well, we appreciate you being a sponsor of the Pac-12 road trip. Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. I need to ask you though, where'd you guys come up with the name?
So we started in Picture Rocks. Yeah, it's up on the northwest side of town in Tucson, and that's where we started, and we've been going at it for 23 years now.
And you guys kind of have that Fred Flintstone kind of. Where did that whole imaging for the brand come up from?
It's something that I thought of, but I can't draw. I don't have any artistic abilities, so I asked someone to draw it for me, and he did a good job.
Outstanding. Ron, we look forward to talking to you after an Arizona Wildcats win tonight.
You got it.
All right, our Pac-12 road trip brought to you by Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Your family deserves to breathe clean and healthy air. So call Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Say that 5 times fast. At 520-440-4069. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show, 520-848-1290. If you'd like to get in on the program, head on over right now to our Twitter account at Wildcats1290. You can vote in our question of the day from yesterday that is still active. And our question of the day, if you missed it yesterday, the Pac-12 or the Big 12 announced on Tuesday that they're going to be staying and keeping both their men's and women's basketball tournaments in Kansas City through 2031. So this is definitely going to be the last time that the Wildcats participate in a basketball tournament here in Las Vegas for quite some time. But you can head on over and vote in our poll. How disappointed are you about that decision? Very disappointed, or it is what it is. Right now, over 100 votes in, 55% of the people saying they're very disappointed about the decision by the Big 12 to commit long-term for their conference basketball tournaments to the city of Kansas City. All right, let's talk to a few folks about this big game today, Arizona and USC. Let's hear from Danny. Danny, you were on the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, good morning, friends. How we doing?
Good, Danny.
Hey, I just got you tuned in during the Brian Jeffries interview, so I've been with you since then, and I just wanted to comment. I love what Kelvin had to say when we talked about Perez and that decision. Because what I heard him say is, "Hey, it's a personal decision, but I wouldn't have done it." I love that, and that's because he wears the A on his chest, right? So that's some good stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of playing out. Go ahead.
It would be tough. I mean, I think it would be tough. And obviously, I never competed at the level that Kelvin did. It would be tough for me to leave on my guys just before the season was done. I just think you got to finish stuff out.
Hey, Kelvin, you think if he had been a 3 or 4 year guy there, that it'd be a different story other than just transferring in for just this year?
Yeah.
I do. I think if he was a guy that hadn't transferred 4 times, I mean, he kind of showed, that's what he does. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, I guess when I look at it like that, it makes me understand more, his state of mind.
Yeah, and I do. I appreciate that input. And I look at it, and again, I love how you guys spell everything out. I'm pretty knowledgeable. I know whether I'm at a game or watching a game. I got the score, the box score up at all times. Looking at the percentages, who's doing what, and I appreciate that. I mean, I really do, because I don't have that insight. When I called this morning and my boy J Dub answered, I said, "Hey, J Dub, good morning. How's Vegas?" And he said, "Well, somebody's got to push the buttons, bro."
Yeah, we don't know. It's not in the budget for me.
Yeah,
we're on that one.
Yeah, Danny, we're not that advanced when we can push the buttons from here in Vegas. Somebody has to be in Tucson to do that.
It's not in the budget for me and Kelvin to get bottle service. Just DK.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And so, but remember, like I said, I talked to you guys on Monday, and who was it that sponsored for you guys to go up there? Who backed this, David?
Picture Rocks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Picture Rocks Heating and Cooling, who you just talked to, right? Imagine that. I love how you guys have your fingers on the pulse. Now, I'm a emotional person, right? I bet. Today, I bet the hell out of we're giving 9.5.
Okay.
I can't tell you who's going to be hot, who's not going to be hot. I didn't give the points against them on Saturday, did I?
No, you
but
didn't.
Today, this is to me because we get, and I told you after the game, right? I said to you guys, I want USC of the two. Give us USC, just like I want Washington State in the Pac-12 final. And that's the way I feel about it. I took another little bet, over here where I gave 12.5 because I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to go out there and they're going to get it done. This business had. I'd be more afraid of tomorrow, and of course I could be completely wrong, or I'd be gambling for a living. So I'm looking forward to it. I like the poll you have because you guys know I don't go to Vegas. I know it's a wonderful thing that we have had, and how great it is, and how we, it's McHale North, we take over. But I sometimes go to the first weekend. But how many times have I been in LA at what I still call the pond, Delvin? A lot, right? And look what Brian said. Brian echoed exactly what his thoughts were just what I thought, which isn't rocket science, but we're going to pretty much be a 2 in the West. And it doesn't matter if we're a 1 or a 2 because we got to play the other one anyway. So let's tip the ball.
There we
let's
go.
Tip the ball.
Hey, Danny.
I'm looking forward to the rest of your show. I want to hear what you guys pick. I'm not touching the over-under today because I went over last time and hate it. But let's have some fun today. Oh, J-Dub did say to me, "Hey, how's your day going?" I said, "It's scrambling because I got priority."
There you go.
To watch the game.
You're in a scramble this morning. You're playing golf.
Guys.
There you go, Danny. Appreciate you checking in. Let's hear from.
Much love to you.
Let's hear from Bill. Bill, you're on the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown and Tip-Off Show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey guys, bear down. Hey, I'm going to sound like broken record, but my keys to the game today is attacking that zone defense the correct way, right up the middle. And hopefully they get that done because if they, you do play another team. Everybody says, "Oh, we weren't hot shooting from the 3. We're really cold." Well, there's another team out there trying to stop you. And the way, if you look at all of our losses this year, it's either been a really hot shooting team from 3 and just outscore us, or it's a team playing zone defense against us. And if we don't attack it right, then we're going to see the same trouble as last week or last weekend. So hopefully they attack that zone defense like they do. And Kelvin, if You mentioned the other day after the after game show the other day, but how do you attack that zone defense again?
You hit you look in that free throw line area. It's usually wide open because the guards extend out and the bigs try to protect the basket. So there's a cavity right there in the middle.
Exactly. So I hopefully they get Keyshawn up at the free throw line. They get Pella, or they get KJ, or even Caleb. You dish it into him, and somebody else with off the ball cuts to the basket, and you get it to them, or he turns around and shoots from the free throw line, or he turns around and attacks the basket from there. So,
I think that's the true zone buster, J-Dub and DK. I think the true zone buster is not 3-point shooting. I think it's getting the ball to the free throw line area with a pass or with penetration.
And then when you do that, you and you're successful from that opens up the three then, because then they have to collapse that zone. They either have to go man because you're beating their zone, or they're going to collapse that zone, and then you can dish out to the 3-point line and make it.
Yeah, and get those 3-pointers, what I call free throw 3-pointers, because you're wide open. You get to use your form and everything, and not those contested threes, because the defense is extended beyond the 3-point line.
Yeah, and it's not Syracuse, where if you break down that zone, they're not gonna stay in it too long, because once you break down a zone, man, you can crush that zone really quick and you score really quick, and they're gonna have to go man after that if you're breaking that zone down. Then I don't think any team in the country can beat us man to man. But if you get a good team shooting threes and a good team that can play the zone, then that's where we get trouble. But we can beat it. They just have to attack it right.
Bill, we appreciate your call. Enjoy the game today.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, let's see if we can win some money on this one today real quick.
Tucson, what are some of today's best bets? Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at some of today's best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, Arizona, 9-point favorite. How we going on this one today? We'll start with Kelvin Efon.
I got a lead. I don't think we can win it by 9 today.
Oh, wait.
I think we win it.
Wait,
but I don't think by 9.
So you're taking SC plus 9.
Yes, sir.
You're not laying it then.
My bad.
Yes. Yeah, you're not laying it.
yeah, my bad.
J-Dub.
Yeah, same. I think Cats win by 7.
All right. I think I'm in that same group. I don't think it's going to be I'm going to take SC in the points on that one. SC plus 9 across the board. Over under 157. Kelvin.
I'm going to go over. I think Arizona's going to play a lot better offense, and I think Boogie may play a little better as well. So I'm going to go over.
Yeah, I don't think that's pretty low. I think it's not too much higher than that, but I would see 160s. So, yeah, over.
And what was it the other night? It was 88.75, so that was what, 158? So that's right around. Yeah, I think it's going to be over, because I think you'll get more points from the two stars in this ball game. I think both Boogie and Caleb Love will right themselves from what we saw Saturday night, which will lead to more points in this ball game. So no movement to be had today. Everybody's taking SC plus the 9 and the over in this one.
Those are today's best bets. They are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, Ryan Radke will be next. We'll chat with him, the Westwood One announcer, get his thoughts on everything happening here in Vegas this week. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is cooler here, and so pests are seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? University Termite and Pest Control has been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control for the past 50 years. You can too. University Termite and Pest Control. Find us online at bepestfree.com.
Experiencing the Sonoran Desert's natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' Cay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockinCay.com. Designed by nature, built for you. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
At Standard Restaurant Supply, their vision and #1 goal is to improve the lives of their customers and clients by providing a better culinary experience. Standard Restaurant Supply, if it's in a restaurant and not food, they have it. Open to the public, no membership fees, and they offer bulk store pricing without the bulk store purchase. Open Monday through Saturday at 601 South Cherry Avenue or call 885-2345. Standard Restaurant Supply is a proud sponsor of the U of A Radio Sports broadcast.
The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style, and top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season featuring 8 blockbuster productions including Disney's Aladdin, The Book of Mormon, Hairspray, and Chicago. Enjoy the Southern Arizona musical premieres of Tina, the Tina Turner Musical, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, MJ the Musical, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Secure your choice season tickets today and get the ultimate in flexibility and the lowest prices all season. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your season tickets today.
Ever get the urge to get out and see this beautiful state up close and personal? Then get on down to RV City in Huachuca City and camper up with a newer used RV fifth wheel travel trailer or pop-up. And we guarantee the short drive will be well worth it because we'll beat any deal anywhere. And we guarantee it. Bring us your best deal and watch us knock it out of the park. Our small city low overhead pricing is why we can meet or beat any deal you'll find in Tucson. Low overhead pricing, big city selection. That's always the ball game at RV City in Huachuca City.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290. Our 1290 Scouting Report is brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Purdy will line up under center, receivers left and right. McCaffrey in the backfield. Purdy gets the snap, turns, hands off McCaffrey. McCaffrey up the right side, into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers with 1:07 to go. McCaffrey's 6-yard touchdown has given San Francisco the lead. 23-21 49ers. Christian McCaffrey had 14 rushing touchdowns during the regular season. He had 21 overall. That is his biggest of the year. scampering in from 6 yards out and putting the 49ers on top.
You heard his voice all season long here on Wildcats Radio 1290 every Sunday night for Sunday Night NFL Football. He is a graduate of the University of Arizona. His name is Ryan Radke. He will be on the calls this week here in Las Vegas for a pair of games. He'll have one of the semifinal games at the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament. He'll also have the championship game for Westwood One, and he joins us now. Ryan, obviously living up in Reno, Nevada, followed the Diamondbacks AAA affiliate up there and did those games for a number of years. And now, how many years is this now with the network, Ryan? Westwood One, about 4 or 5 years now?
Started in 2017, I think,
Okay.
2018. So, yeah, somewhere in that 6-7 years, something like that. Yeah.
Outstanding. How has that transition been for you, going from, the life of a minor league baseball announcer and being on the road for most of the summer to now calling games maybe weekly, and but a lot more plane trips to bigger, nicer, and major league and NFL facilities?
Yeah, it's been fun, David. Obviously I was in minor league baseball for a long time, and I enjoyed my time doing it. But it's been great. Westwood One has treated me incredible opportunities, and getting to do some of those games like that Packers 49ers game, and go to places like Lambeau Field and see different spots around the country, and some of the historic college basketball venues in the country is just it's been awesome. So really, really enjoyed it.
What are your takeaways, Ryan, from this Arizona men's basketball team as you've kind of watched it come together in this third season for Tommy Lloyd?
Well, first of all, I would say I think Tommy Lloyd has done a remarkable job in his 3 years as the head coach. I think in Tucson we all would take it for granted what Lute Olson built there, and sometimes maybe didn't remember what it was like before Coach Olson got there and what he built. And it's not something I think that is just really easy to sustain. But, what Sean Miller did, obviously coming in, and then what Tommy Lloyd has done the last 3 years, I think, has been remarkable at the rate that he has been able to win games. I think this year's team is extremely talented. I think that they have talent that is up there with the elite in the country. I think the question about Arizona is, can they do it consistently? And that lingers, I think, from last year's NCAA tournament when we saw them bow out early to Princeton, a game that I was at in Sacramento, to what we've seen this year, where just last week on Thursday night, they hammer UCLA. They wrap up the Pac-12 regular season title, which is great. But then 48 hours later, they're playing maybe for a number 1 seed, and we're flat against the same USC team they're going to see today. So I think that Arizona continues to be that team that when they're at their best, they are really tough to beat and can compete with anybody in the country. But can they do that consistently? I think that's the big question that everybody has about this team.
Ryan Radke is joining us here with your scouting report. It is brought to you by none other than Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double. Ryan, you were at the game yesterday here against USC and Washington. With the kind of gist that we get is we're finally starting to see the USC team that we thought we were going to be seeing all season long. I mean, they won 4 in a row. They're defending at a high level. They got a bunch of guys who probably are going to be playing in the NBA someday. This is what Andy Enfield thought he had back in November.
Yeah, I think, this is the team that there was big expectations for, and I think it's why if you ask pretty much anybody, okay, give me a quote-unquote dark horse, who outside the top 4 seeds could win this whole thing, they're probably going to say USC because of the talent that they have. And it's certain, they've had injuries they've had to deal with this year. I understand that. But I think it's been perplexing at times why they haven't been better. But we're seeing them now as a whole unit. We saw them come back against Washington yesterday, and again, we saw them on Saturday night. Really, not just beat, but handle Arizona in that game at Galen Center. So I think obviously they will have Arizona's full attention today. I'm sure that the Wildcat faithful are fully focused on USC. I don't think anybody goes into this game today saying, well, this will be easy. Let's just start talking about UCLA or Oregon. You're going to have your best to win that game today and get to the semifinals.
Ryan Radke again joining us from Westwood One Sports. Ryan, we kind of sat next to each other for a little bit at the game yesterday. So when you're kind of bouncing around, you said you were doing the West Coast Conference Championship game as well for Westwood One. When you go to a game like that, are you just kind of watching? Are you watching for something specifically? Because you don't know, obviously, what your game is going to be on Friday. So what are you looking at? Are you just kind of there watching, or are you looking for specific stuff to kind of in a preparation process for these games?
I like to see guys in person. Watching on TV, you can see a lot, but I like to watch guys in person. I think you can see a little more, especially watching off the ball, getting a feel for what guys do out there on the court. You get to see a lot of body language. You get to see how they interact with the bench, things like that. I like to see those type of things. And then obviously I'm also looking at, hey, what kind of actions are they running? What do they like to do? Who are they going to when it matters the most? What kind of things do they like on out-of-bounds plays? Different stuff like that. And that's mostly for the analysts. But I like to try to absorb as much of that stuff as I can. But really, David, when you're doing weeks like this where you have so many different teams and so many different games, you really just like to see guys in their uniform and associate faces with numbers and try to get more comfortable before you go into the games you're going to call.
What was it like for you the first time you called an Arizona game for Westwood One?
You know what? I mean, it was cool. It was a cool experience, obviously. It was something that I had wanted to do for a long time. And I got to do a few games when I was there and working there. But as we all know, I mean, Brian Jeffries is the Cal Ripken of collegiate broadcasters. The man does not miss a game for any reason. I think that he could actually physically be dead and he would still somehow show up and do the game. The guy's amazing. I mean, he's absolutely amazing, and he's one of the best going. I tell people that all the time, that I hope people in Tucson are realize how fortunate they are to have a guy like that calling their games, because he's so good. But it was fun for me to do it. I think at the same time, growing up in the Bay Area, I did not grow up in a place where we listened to a lot of homers. And so I've never really had a homer slant to my broadcast. So I didn't have to worry about, feeling like, oh, am I going to favor Arizona or something? And I don't feel like I ever did. I think, last year I called that Arizona-Princeton game. I think I did Princeton justice in them having a huge upset and having the proper level of excitement for them winning that game. But look, I'm a Wildcat. I graduated from Arizona. I love Arizona. I will always love Arizona. And when I'm not doing Arizona games, I root for Arizona. But I think I'm able to kind of separate the two, that when I sit down to broadcast, that I can look at it where they are just another team like any other team that I'd be calling on that given day.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously, you come from the broadcast background side of it. We were kind of talking about this a little bit last week, because we've had Josh Pastner in the analyst seat recently. We get Matt Muehlbach a lot in the analyst seat. We had Richard Jefferson in the analyst seat at UCLA last week, and Richard maybe wasn't as impartial, and some of these ex-players maybe aren't as partial as maybe they should be, and that's very different than I think when at least when I was coming up, and maybe to an extent where you were too, where networks frowned on putting alums on their team's games because they didn't they didn't want the appearance of impartiality. But why do you think we're seeing that more? Is it just because the networks maybe want to have guys that have a familiarity with that program on the broadcast because they think it adds something to it versus the past where you never wanted to see? I mean, I can't imagine executives 20 years ago would have even thought about, oh yeah, I'm going to put an Arizona guy on an Arizona game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's some of it. I think, look, times have changed, right? I mean, look, when you and I were coming up and not even that long ago, when we were doing baseball in the same league, there was different rules about the way you played the game and the way you expressed emotion. And there was things that were absolutely taboo you did not do for any reason that now are perfectly acceptable. And so I think, some of that plays into it, that people have changed their minds about what is acceptable on the broadcast, that it's okay if somebody's over there rooting a little bit, and we can all kind of laugh at that kind of thing. And that's fine. That's their perspective. It's not my perspective. It's not the perspective that I think, my bosses have about the way we do games. But that's fine. As Jay Billis likes to say, reasonable minds can disagree. But I was just brought up that way, that when you're calling a game, your responsibility is to paint the picture accurately as to what's happening. And if that means the team where you went to school is not playing well, you say that they are not playing well. And at the same time, if they're blowing somebody out and they're playing great, then you have the responsibility to do that. So that's the way I look at it, but different people have different views on it, and that's okay.
Ryan Radke joining us. He's got your scouting report brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double. All right, Ryan, give me a key each. What's the key for USC, you think, today to beat Arizona? What's the key for Arizona to beat USC?
Well, I think as much as USC has athletes, I think as much as you can keep Arizona out of transition and keep them from going up and down the floor, you're going to have a much better chance of winning. Because to me, that's when Arizona's at their best. We know they can rebound the ball extremely well. When they're able to get missed shots and get out and run, when they're able to get live ball turnovers and get out and run, they become a really, really tough team to beat. So I know USC is athletic and they can get up and down the floor, but I don't think they want to try to beat Arizona 100-94. I think they would like it much more like the game was on Saturday night. Conversely, if you're Arizona, in addition to those things, for me, it really starts with the emotion that you have. Can Arizona come out today and play with an edge, a chip on their shoulder? This is the team that just beat them on Saturday night. Will they play like a team that is an underdog of sorts rather than they're the number one seed, they're expected to advance, we can sleepwalk through and we'll be okay? Because as I think we all know, that's not the case with this USC team. They can't come out and turn the ball over and not play well and just expect to win. So I'd like to see a little bit of an edge from Arizona today. I'd like to feel like they're kind of an angry team coming off that game on Saturday night. And if we see that, then I think they'll be okay.
You called the women's championship game in the Pac-12 conference this past Sunday out here, Southern California knocking off Stanford. What were your impressions of that ball game, that Women of Troy team that kind of came up and knocked off the top seed Cardinal?
Extremely impressed by USC. And, I know the projections now have them as the number one seed, and I think they would be deserving of that. They've got 8 wins over the net, top 25 this year. They're an exciting ball club. Juju Watkins, even though she didn't play well in that game against Stanford, is just terrific. And I think the reason that some of her teammates had such big games is the attention that she commands on the court. So I think USC would be very, very deserving of a 1 seed. And I will tell you this, if there was some way, if they were to get through and if Iowa was to get through, I would love to see a Juju Watkins, Caitlin Clark matchup in Cleveland. It would be absolutely tremendous to watch that. 2 of the best going in women's college basketball. So it's fun. We're seeing it, David. The interest in women's basketball is growing. The ratings are growing. People are having fun with that game. And it is an exciting product right now. And I think USC just adds to the exciting product we already have with teams like South Carolina, LSU, Stanford, Texas. You can go on down the line. So it's good for the game, and I can't wait to get to Cleveland and see what matchups we get.
Ryan, you graduated in '98, so you obviously were in school at the same time as Adia Barnes. What do you remember about her as a student athlete?
Yeah, I remember that at the time, obviously, men's basketball, drew all the attention, and women's basketball didn't get much, unfortunately. But if you talked about Arizona women's basketball, you talked about Adia Barnes and how good that she was. I remember going to McHale for a game they played against Stanford when Stanford was highly ranked. I don't know if they were number 1, but they were certainly one of the top teams in the country. And watching, going to that game, watching her play, how did she match up against the best? So I've always been a big fan of hers. Got a chance to interact with her a little bit at the Final Four when they were there a couple of years ago. And excited about what she's done and what she can continue to do with the program. I know the last couple of years have not been exactly where they want to be, but I think she's absolutely the right person for that job.
Hey, Ryan, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. We look forward to hearing your calls throughout the NCAA tournament on both the women's and the men's sides.
All right, DK, great to be with you, man. Thanks so much.
Ryan Radke, U of A, class of 1998, broadcaster with Westwood One with your scouting report.
That's today's 1290 Scouting Report, brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown and Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air work in a state of disrepair.
If there's a hot spot in your house, you may have leaky ductwork. The Department of Energy says 95% of homes do. Those leaks can pull in dirt and humidity. I'm Ron Arenas, the owner of Picture Rocks Cooling. Ask how we can tackle those leaky ducts and keep cool air in and dirt and humidity out with AeroSeal. Call Picture Rocks at 520-440-4069.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Discover Rocking K, a community designed by nature, built for you. Embrace the beauty of the Rincon Mountains' high desert foothills. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park. Bordering Saguaro National Park, Rocking K is conveniently located to our region's major employers and nationally recognized Vail School District. Tour 10 model homes by 4 award-winning builders and discover why more people are calling Rocking K home. LiveRockingK.com. Proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. When I need a winning strategy for my team, nothing beats knowledge and skill. That's why I recommend Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for all your home service needs. Having personally witnessed the impact of hard work and dedication, Right Way brings the same commitment to your home's comfort. Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, their team always delivers excellence. With a legacy of quality service since 1959, you know you're in good hands. So give your home the best. Choose Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Call or text 520-640-CATS or visit rightwayac.com.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Hi, this is Mary with my friends at Mesquite Valley Growers. MVG has a brand new comfort-controlled tropical house full of beautiful tropical indoor plants. Green plants of every size to bring inside your home, apartment, office, even your bedroom. Mesquite Valley Growers has a solution to any space, anywhere, both inside and outside. Mesquite Valley Growers on Speedway just east of Pantano. Open 7 days a week. Mesquite Valley Growers, real experience, real nursery.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really matter, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
7 minutes to go, down by 11. Boswell, angle right, drives it to the free throw line. Kick it off, Keshad for three. It is good, and Keshad Johnson with his fourth Lexus of Tucson Charity 3 here in the half.
And the Wildcats are going to want maybe some shooting like that from Keshad Johnson. He's a guy that can give you points on the inside. He can also give you points on the outside if they want to have a chance to beat the USC Trojans on this Thursday in Las Vegas. It's the Pac-12 quarterfinals. We've got you for another 15 minutes, and then we'll turn you over to the network at noon, or I should say at 11, for this game, which will start just after noon, between the Wildcats and the Trojans today. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. We are also brought to you by Dave and Buster's, the best place to eat, drink, and play while watching today's game between USC and Arizona. We've been hearing a lot from Caleb Love throughout the course of this show, and it is going to be, I'm sure the gates are opened here now at T-Mobile Arena. It is going to be packed with Arizona fans for sure in here today. Mikhail North will come alive. He'll see it for the first time. He probably saw it a little bit when the Wildcats were here in December to take on Florida Atlantic, but it'll be to a whole new level and a whole new meaning this time around, and Caleb Love is looking forward to experiencing what Las Vegas and Mikhail North is all about.
It means a lot. It just shows, like I said, it shows you how much Arizona means to these fans, and Arizona basketball is this big brand, and it carries weight. So we just want to put on and go out there and give it our all, and so I'm excited to see it.
Caleb Love knows all about this time of year. He's been to a national championship game. He talks about the mentality that he and the Wildcats have to have in these single elimination formats that they're going to face now in the Pac-12 tournament and then beginning next week in the NCAA tournament.
I think it just means more. Obviously, coming into these games, you want to, get better and better, trend in that direction, and you just got to take it one game at a time. I've been, telling my teammates that, and, we also got to enjoy these moments because, it's dwindling down to the, end of the year. So I just think you got to take in and cherish these moments with your team and kind of enjoy these moments. And then, like I said, just take it one game at a time, and focus on, that task at hand.
Tommy Lloyd's been a head coach for a long time in college basketball. He's been to the NCAA a number of years, but obviously only twice as a head coach. Tommy, this week on what he has learned from previous postseasons.
I learned that you don't ever take it for granted, and you have to be excited to play. It's a new beginning, and that's how you have to approach it. You can say, oh, these seasons are long and all these cliches, but what's really cool about these seasons is they break down into shorter bits where there's new beginnings, and this is a new beginning. So with any new beginning or anything in life, I think you should always approach it with energy and enthusiasm, so that's what we plan on doing.
Kelvin, obviously you want to win this tournament. You're in a tournament. You want to win it 3 days in a row, as we talked at the top of the show. We haven't reached the win or go home stage yet. That's next week. You can lose this week, and your season does not end. Does that take a little bit of the pressure off of these types of conference tournament scenarios?
Definitely for teams like the Wildcats that are definitely in. It takes it out for those guys. But, at the same time, I mean, that's what you come for, that type of pressure. You want to be in a situation to where in tournament play to where you have to get it done or you go home. So pressure is what you want. That's the reason why you came to play Division I at a school like Arizona. For sure.
All right, let's give you what we think the Wildcats need to do to win this game today against USC.
Wildcats fans, our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
Keys to an Arizona win. J-Dub, what has to happen today for U of A?
Well, my number one key is slowing down Collier because that guy's fearless. He's really strong on ball, and if he gets in the lane, he makes problems happen. So you definitely, my number one, Boogie Ellis is going to make outside shots. You got to slow down Collier. Last game out, we saw the turnover issues, limit turnovers, obviously a huge key today, and secondarily, finished around the rim. We saw a lot of offensive rebounds, and they didn't get a lot of putbacks. So those two go together. That will change quite a bit the outcome of what we saw on Saturday. And number three, bring that force. So Pelabalo, Keyshot, KJ, all those strong defenders that you think of, bring that to the Trojans. Show them who the tougher team is. I think the Trojans really brought it at Arizona last time out, but we know how strong and how physical this Arizona Wildcat basketball team is when they play with purpose. I'd like to see that today. I'd like to see them in the first 5-10 minutes, Kelvin, show those Trojans who the more physical team is.
Kelvin Ifan.
similar to J-Dub for sure. Get the ball inside to the most physical players, Ballo and Keyshawn. I think the paint scores are going to be very important here to force foul trouble against their bigs, and which would create guys having to help inside and giving more room to the guards on the outside. Take care of the basketball, less than 14. We have to get back to that. We can't have the live ball turnovers where they can go get easy buckets, easy dunk, pick sixes, as they say. And then I think the guards have to get downhill against the pressure defense. You have to attack those guys to force force open shots and to open up passing angles.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go off something that J-Dub said, but just a little bit differently. I'm fine if Isaiah and Boogie get their points today. What I don't want to see is that third guy get points. So I think you need to shut down DJ Rodman and Kobe Johnson and keep them from scoring at a high pace in this ball game. I think you can live with Isaiah Collier and Boogie Ellis scoring if you can keep those other guys out of the 12-plus point category. So keep down DJ Rodman, keep down Kobe Johnson. You mentioned the physicality. We've heard it from USC. Be physical back offensively. Go downhill. To be able to get to the line, I think is going to be important. When Arizona's playing well, it's because they're shooting a lot of free throws. Get downhill, get to the line, and like you guys said, get the ball inside as well. Dominate in the paint. That's going to be a key for Arizona winning this ball game. And just again, I think the big thing is play with the emotion. Play with the emotion that we've seen all year. That this is, I think they kind of maybe mentally took a little bit of a night off in L.A. Get back to Arizona basketball mentally. And I think the Wildcats should be okay in this ball game. Like we said, I don't know if it's going to be a 9 or 10 plus point victory like the line indicates that it should be, but should be enough to win for Arizona this afternoon. All right.
Wildcats fans, that's our keys to the game. Brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, guys, final thoughts on this one before we shut it down and turn it over to Brian Jeffries and Reggie Geary.
Yeah, I just think that the Wildcats have to come and just, play with their hearts and play together. I think that after winning that Pac-12 championship, there was a little let down from the guys, maybe had a little too much fun celebrating against USC. But I also think USC just came to bring it. I think today's game is important to both teams, and I just can't wait to see the battle, because I think these type of games is what gets you ready for the NCAA tournament. When you face teams that can actually beat you and have the talent to beat you, it forces you to turn it up a level.
Yeah, I think we've said it all. I think, again, just come with force. I would like to use this time, though, to give a shout-out to former Trojan DeMar DeRozan. Did you hear what happened last night?
I did not.
DeRozan passed Elgin Baylor, Dwayne Wade, and Adrian Dantley on the all-time scoring list in one game. He's now at 32 all-time, and he's about 5 games away from passing Charles Barkley and Allen Iverson as well. So people who aren't paying attention, DeRozan is creeping up that leaderboard all-time scoring list. He passed Elgin Baylor, Dwayne Wade, and Adrian Dantley last night alone.
Wow.
And one more thing. Shout out to Alyssa Brown.
Yeah.
UNLV MVP of UNLV. Go ahead, DK. You do it better than me.
Yeah. No, go ahead, brother.
I want you to do it. You'll give us some justice.
Yeah. They won their 3rd straight Mountain West Conference championship, did UNLV. And, Alyssa Brown, a huge part of what Lindy LaRocque is doing with that program. I mean, there's Tucson all over that ball club up there, and it just great to see what they're doing. They knocked off San Diego State last night by a score of 66 to 49. And they're going to be headed to the NCAA tournament.
DK, I was going to say, man, I remember when she was coming. I've been knowing her since she was a little girl. I know her father and her mother and all the Spartans teams that helped raise her. When she left high school, I just thought that was the one that got away. I thought that she was U of A good. I thought that she could play at Arizona, and I'm happy for her, but I hate to see her winning trophies for somebody else when she could be down here helping us.
Yeah, she had 11 points in the game last night to go along with 9 rebounds, putting up some solid numbers for UNLV this season in her junior year. So, yeah, shout out to Alyssa Brown and UNLV, led by South Point Catholic grad Lindy LaRock, for winning their 3rd straight Mountain West Conference Tournament championship.
The foundation of a great college basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rockin' K, a master plan community designed by nature.
All right, starting lineups for this ball game. Colin Boswell, 6'2", sophomore out of Champaign, shooting 40% from 3 this season. Caleb Love, 6'4", senior out of St. Louis, just 1 3-point field goal shy of 10th all-time at U of A for a single season. Pelle Larsson, 6'5", senior out of Nacka, Sweden, leads the team in assists with 114. Keyshawn Johnson at forward, 6'7", fifth-year senior out of Oakland, California, had a career-high 4 made threes last Saturday in the loss at USC.
10 seconds.
And the man in the middle, Umar Ballo, 7 foot out of Mali. That's your starting lineup. It's Arizona and USC next here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Designed by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio, with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
It's a party 100 years in the making, and all of Tucson is invited. Saturday, March 23rd, starting at 11 a.m., we'll kick off our 100-year anniversary party at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Along with a Chevy Classic Car Show, there'll be food trucks, balloon twisters, a caricature artist, and much more. Our cake cutting ceremony will start at 5 p.m., and our price cutting, well, that's been going on for more than a century. So put it in your cell phone for the 23rd and see us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, or go to O'Reilly.com for more details. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is cooler here, and so pests are seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? University Termite and Pest Control has been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control for the past 50 years. You can too. University Termite and Pest Control. Find us online at bepestfree.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K, nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. Live RockinK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Tired of dry